hit it, Chris. Hit that intro, baby. I hear it. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go.
You guys know what it is. It's the one and only, the American Cholo podcast, coming straight to you from North Hollywood, California. Boo's not here, man. Boo did not get the memo. I sent him the memo that you were gonna be here today.
Oh man!
And he just didn't get a hint. So Boo, when you watch this, sucker.
Maybe he knows. Maybe he was a little worried about me. Like, this guy's a problem.
Yeah. He didn't want to catch that fade with you.
No, he didn't want to.
All right, so man, I got a great one for you guys because I'm sitting here talking to the man already. And we're having some real cool ass conversation, very mellow. But let's get this thing going, man. The man, the white boy behind the scenes.
The white boy behind the scenes.
The man behind the scenes, former president of Who Bang Records with Mack 10. He founded Streetlight Music LLC, one of the largest music production companies in the United States with a division in Japan.
Yes.
As Streetlight Music is also responsible for several platinum hits such as I Luv Cali with Roscoe from the Dogg Pound, Summernights by Lil Rob, Lean Like A Cholo,
Elbows up.
Light My Fire with Snoop Dogg. His credentials can go on for hours and hours on end. So now let's just go ahead and give this man a big round of applause to introduce Big Flossy The Boss. What's going on,
man?
bro?
What a great intro, man.
No,
I don't even know if I can live up to that. Thanks for having me here today, Gil.
No,
Appreciate
man.
it,
You know what? Thank you. I appreciate you coming through. Shout out to Bozo for making the connection.
Yeah, Bo's a great guy.
So Flossy, man, where were you born and raised at?
I was actually, believe it or not, I was born in Newport Beach, California.
I can see you being born in Newport
Oh
Beach.
yeah, I look like I'm definitely that dude that looks like he was born from Newport Beach.
He said, "Believe it or not, I can believe that." Okay, so you were born in the mean streets of Newport.
I was born in the gangster streets of Newport, but I'll tell you, it was short-lived.
Okay.
So the parents got divorced early, and we moved into Huntington Beach as my mom was single. Moved us into Huntington Beach, and then that's when we went through that's when we went through the mean streets. Was like we were bouncing around. We would stay as long as my mom could avoid paying rent.
Oh shit! Like
we were doing that. So we at one point we lived in a car.
Was it just you and your mom?
No, where there was 5 kids at the time.
Oh man!
So single mom. My mom was a cocktail waitress. We're basically house hopping from place to place, living in a car at points, and eventually my mom got remarried to a stepdad who moved us into Santa Ana.
Okay.
And that's when we were really in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're in the barrio.
Now we're in the barrio hanging out with real cats doing some things.
How old are you when you were in Santa Ana?
I was in 3rd grade. So
Okay.
At 3rd grade, we got to, keep in mind it earlier because when you grow up broke for some reason, you learn to scrap, you learn to do a lot of stupid shit.
Survive.
Yeah, you got to learn to survive, meaning like, if you see something you want it, you got to go get it at any means. So my whole family was like that. We're kind of, at the time probably called white trash. We were those people. And when we moved to Santa Ana, we got, introduced to the gang life. I wasn't in the gang, but all my homies were. And that's who we hung out with on a regular basis. And I think in 3rd grade was the first time, I'm losing my voice. The first time I ever shot a gun was in 3rd grade.
In 3rd grade?
Yeah.
What were you busting on?
No, I wasn't. What's funny was like I wasn't busting on anybody. One of my friends came over and said, "Hey, we got my dad's got a gun." I'm like, "What?" And so we're like, "Dude, get it." So he went up in his closet, grabbed the gun. I think it was Valet High School or Santa Ana Valley High School. We went over there and went in there. People were playing a softball game.
Right.
Just 3 or 4 little kids out there hanging out. And we just went there as people were watching a softball game. We had the gun, just shot it. Bam! We never heard a gunshot. So loud. The whole crowd looked over. What the hell? And we're like, little dorky kids. It's fake. We ran off. That was the first time I shot an actual pistol.
So wasn't last time, Flossy?
No, it wasn't the last time.
We won't talk about the other times.
It wasn't the last time.
Okay, so what kind of music you listening to in these days, in era?
So I grew up my entire life, believe it or not, listening to hip hop. I didn't. Typically, people like me would listen to like rock music or whatever was popular at the time. For some reason, I was well, back then it was called rap.
Yes.
It wasn't called hip hop. So, and it was hard to get. And so my brother and I, we would break dance, pop and lock, and we did all that stuff. We would go to Newport Beach with the cardboard and the ghetto blaster, and wearing the Pumas, the fat and fluorescent laces, and we pop and lock. And what's up with our?
What was your names? You had to have names.
Believe it or not, it was TNT Fresh. My brother was Tyler. My legal name is Tori, so it was TNT Fresh. We're the Fresh crew. So we would hit it, but super corny. To be honest with you, looking back now, super corny. The little raspberry beret like France, we had that little hat going. Just corny. But that's all, it's funny, that's all we knew, it's all we listened to. And the reason why I related to that is because my whole life I've been broke. So the stories back in the original rap for you youngsters out there, they told stories about being broke.
Yes.
And that's why I related to it. Like, I didn't live the stories of the rock guy life or the pop people life. I lived the story of like, what, ho, 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 what is Christmas for? A Christmas tree with nothing under it. Just we have nothing. So we related to the stories about poverty. And back in those days, they didn't talk about, I got this iced out chain, I got the Bentley, I got the whip. It was more about like, I got nothing. And to me, that grabbed me and like, that's like me.
Right.
And so I related to that. And I think that, we clicked with that. And so that's all I really knew. I mean, obviously I heard the rock songs and I heard the pop songs, but that wasn't what I was into.
What you gravitated to?
Yeah, I was not into
music.
I was into that my whole life. Since day one, from the first rapper to, I literally could tell you the history of rap because that's how I grew up, like so crazy with it.
Really?
So, yeah, oh yeah, I'm hardcore with like everybody back in those days. In order to find out about an artist, you had to go to the store, buy a magazine, and read up. Like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. There was no MTV.
Oh, there was no MTV. We had my brother and I shared a room. And we would go get any article with a black person in it at that time, because they didn't identify the genre of music at the time. They're trying to, where does this go? What is it? Yeah. But we would grab anything, and we knew the music, and we would pull the page out, and our entire room was pages from magazines as wallpaper. And it was every rapper, Kool Moe D, LL Cool J, UTFO, World Class Wrecking Crew. So that was our life. So, and that's all we loved.
And what kind of grades were you getting in school? Where are you going to school?
I was a straight A student.
Oh, so you're a smart guy.
And the reason why, I'll tell you why I was a straight A student. Because when I was in third grade, they had this thing like, if you finish all this homework, you get the ice cream party, or you get a free party, a pizza party, or whatever.
I remember that.
And if you're broke, like, oh damn, I get ice cream or I get pizza. Wow. So what I would do, there was a teacher in third grade that would put all these papers out, like the whole year's worth of paperwork, and you fill out these sheets and you complete them. If they have you listed on the stars. If you finish them first, you get the party, right?
Right, that's right.
So I literally took them home during summer. Boom. So they come back, like I was done with every single one, and everybody else was like, 10, 15 of them. I was done. I was done for the year. Like, let's go.
That's great.
And so when they gave me more, I kept doing it. And then as you do it, you get, it becomes easy, because it's just repetition.
Right.
And I just got better and better and better. And all through high school, I was a straight A student.
Now, in high school, would you consider yourself part of the cool kids, or?
Nah, dude. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, junior high. So we moved to Riverside. My parents got a place in Riverside, and we had cows and horses, and we were still broke. Like, but now I'm broke with no cool clothes. I'm going to school with my brother's shit from last year, junior high. And people are saying, hey, that's your brother's shit. And I'm so broke and I don't care. Like, that's right. So what's up? That's my attitude. Like, let's just fight. Let's go. What's up? Right, that's what I got. And so I fought a lot. I got suspended from school a lot in junior high. And to make extra money, because we're always trying to figure out how to make a couple $, I sold the food at the in the lunch line. I got free lunch for selling food, and I would sell everybody food. And I actually got a paycheck from doing that at junior high. So I was a complete, I'm talking a nerd in junior high. But then my neighbors where I lived were like, because we lived like in the country.
Right.
They were wealthy. Their parents had orange groves, and they had money, right? So the kids would get a Porsche for their, 16th birthday. But those were also people I hung out with and we did crazy shit with, like bad shit. And those guys were like, oh, we were the bad kids.
But they liked you guys.
Oh, we were bad. By the way, so the family grew to 10. I come from a family of 10. And the whole family was bad. We're not good kids. So we were the worst ghetto kids everywhere. And everyone in the city knew who we were. Like, they knew, like,
there comes a so-and-so's.
Yeah. So basically, like, I was in the middle.
Right.
So if I was to get fucked up, you got a whole clan coming after you real quick. So nobody really messed with us because we did like to fight. And so, but ultimately, because of that, when I went to my freshman year, the juniors and sophomores knew who I was, and they kind of hey, this is so and so. He's cool. Da da da. And they kind of embraced me.
Right.
And I became more popular just because of that. And also because of my goofy ass ears. If you notice, they stick out. Dude, my whole life. Big ears, Dumbo, all that shit. I got all of that. On top of being broke and having the worst.
Geez. And not having no clothes either.
Yeah, so I had to fight my whole life. I just had to fight. But ultimately, I decided I don't want to fight. I don't want to do this. Like, I like to have fun. So I started snapping on people, just being a comedian and joking around and just busting on. And just, I would read people like your shoes, your pants, even though I had worse shit.
You start crumbing on them.
Oh, I would crush them. And so everybody would laugh at the popular dude, and that got me love.
Okay.
Now I might have bullshit on, but I'm calling you out. You don't even have high end shit, but I'm still clowning you, and it's just funny. So now
you're like the original Eminem when you kind of, I already know what I got. Let me crumble
exactly.
Your shit.
So because then that's the other thing with trick with if you're going head to head with somebody,
right,
just call out all your flaws right out the gate because they can't do it.
You're taking their ammo from them. That's what I said. That's what reminded me of you being the
original
Eminem on that one.
And the thing is like. I wasn't proud, so I didn't care. Like, I already know I ain't got shit. So what are you going to say to me that's going to offend me?
Right.
So that's kind of the attitude I took. But then I also took the attitude like, I don't want to be a negative person fighting and robbing and stealing and just get stuff. I want to be a positive person. And so at that time, I joined the Reserve Officer Training Corps, the Air Force ROTC at the high school.
Okay.
And so, which was a different thing. You know, even that was considered like you're a nerd at the school at the time. But I also played football. So I ended up playing football, doing that at the same time. And I ended up becoming at that high school, Arlington High School in Riverside, the highest ranking cadet officer in the history of that program. Oh, wow. And I got as far as you could possibly go in there. And then I was a varsity team on football. So I was a cool dude in high school because of that.
So you changed from like junior high, your whole look and everything by the time you got out of high school, huh?
Now I started rocking the fresh gear because I started making money. My own, whatever I had, I just bought myself.
You're a hustler.
Yeah, I'm trying to get money. You know, at high school, what I would do is go get the box of M&Ms, and I would go slang those $1 at a door. Bam, bam, bam. And I would make dough, like seriously, because I would say, hey, I'm doing it for this program. And I would make dough every day. And I would go out there.
Who started that, huh?
Oh.
Junior careers.
I'm telling you right now, but back in the days, I was selling them for $1. They're only selling for like $2 now. That's what's crazy.
Yes,
like
that's big money. That's a big profit.
So like back in the days, like I think I was getting them for $0.25 of the box, and I was selling for $1. So, but that's how I made money to finance what I was doing, and then kind of just going from there. But at that time, it's like my attitude changed from being like, because when you're in the military, the type of branches you do, like boot camp and all these things, you go to the bases and you do all this training, and you have like, it structures you to be like everything has to be perfect. Your structure, how you do business, that mentality gets, and on top of that, football too. Everything's formatted to do this, do that. Yeah, discipline, hardcore. And once I got that in my head, I was thinking like, shit, I can do anything. I don't have to be broke. Nice. I can go do what, and that's the reason in my head, I was like, I could see outside of my small little world I live in.
You finally saw outside the box.
Yeah, so I could say, okay, there's potential. Sure. There's things you can do. Like, I shouldn't have been the top guy at this program. I have nothing going for me. In fact, during that time, my parents moved to a trailer. We lived in a trailer in a city called Anza in the middle of nowhere. 10 kids in a trailer. But before that happened, my mom was pregnant. To transition out there, they sent me and my two brothers out there on a plot of land they left us guns in a car. We didn't drive. We're like 16, 15. And in the middle of there's no houses, no nothing in the country. There's bobcat, rattlesnakes, everything. And they said, hey, get the land cleared and flattened, basically, because it's branches, trees and everything. Flatten it out so we can have like a living space and figure out how to get running water. So they left us a 55-gallon drum of a barrel, and there was a well at the top of the hill. We would drive the car, put the drum on the back, pump the thing full of water, put it up on the hill, siphon the water through a garden hose, and you have running water into a trailer.
And is that 16?
16.
Oh, man.
So at that time, I moved from Riverside to there, but I wasn't having it. I'm like, fuck this life, man. I'm not trying to do this. I'm like, this is horrible. We all hated it. So at that time, I met some family that lived near us in Riverside, and they were willing to adopt me. So I could go to this program that I wanted to go to because I really wanted to do it. And so they adopted me. So I moved away from my family and lived with an adopted family. And but they were Seventh-day Adventist. Are you familiar with them?
They're like big time church guys, right?
More than big time, dude.
They make Jehovah's look like rock stars or what?
I don't know about that because they're pretty hard. Jehovah's are hardcore. But what I will tell you is my day consisted of, because now I'm on their time, meaning like I'm thankful for whatever they're providing for me.
Yes.
So I can't fuck it up. I got to do whatever I got to do what I'm doing so I can progress. And that was in my mindset. So Monday through Friday, there's no music, no TV. Monday through Friday, every day after school, 1 hour worth of yard work. We lived in a hill country. It was weeding, doing something for 1 hour minimum. Every hour after that, studies. You got to study your. Now, if I did all my homework, said I'm all done with my homework, they gave me a dictionary, and I had to write. They give me 1 through 5 these pages.
Right.
Write down the dictionary words and definition, and if I finished that, they give me Bible verses. So that was my day. And on Friday afternoon, same thing. Saturday, once it hits Sabbath is Saturday. Once it hits sundown on Friday, it's a Sabbath till sun up on Saturday. So you do nothing but worship the Lord on the Sabbath. And there were vegetarians at the time before vegetarian was cool, meaning you ate the worst fucking vegetarian hot dog in your life.
How long did you do that? How long did you do that for?
4 years in high school.
Wow.
My whole high school career.
Wow. Is that just how bad you wanted to progress, or is that just how bad you had life back?
A combination of both. My life, there was no life.
Most kids would have took off.
No, there's no life going back. There was no.
You knew there was no future.
There's no way. There was this. It was brutal, and also, I wanted to succeed. Like, I think part of the reason, like anybody gets excited about anything, is you see people doing better than you,
yes,
and you want to emulate that. I want to do what they're doing.
Well, hustlers do.
Right.
People that hate see somebody doing better than you, and they want to hate on them.
Right. Me, I would ask them, sir, what do you do? I would just be that lonely kid. Hey, can I ask you what you do for a living? And they'd tell me, and my head was, man, do I want to do advertising? The guy's driving a Bentley. He's doing advertising. So my head would rattle. I would do that all the time. So my head was like, I got to figure this out. Let me get great grades, get through high school, and then I can figure out what I want to do from there. But yeah, for that whole 4 years, I just wanted it so bad.
That's crazy.
I was willing to just do it all and give it up. And on the weekends, I went home to the trailer. I lived in the country in the summer too. So I stayed in the summer in the trailer.
You still in touch with the family that you lived there?
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So there were amazing people. What's really crazy is so the last year, because I shouldn't have been playing football because they played on Sabbath. Okay. So I didn't tell them for a long time. I just kept telling them I was going home and this and that. And they found out I was playing football. And I just finally had to break it down to them. They're kind of mad at me because it's kind of against the religion. Right. But so they kind of looked at me a little funny. Their son, because they were more strict than anybody, and I thought it was too much myself. But they had another adopted son we shared a room. He was close to my age. But he went to all the Christian schools and the Seventh-day Adventist schools. He was a rebel. Like you were pushing him too hard. Right. And so in my senior year, he started drinking, where he would go put alcohol in the closet. But he was really the real son. Even though he's adopted, he was a real son. I'm not the real son. I'm just like here for kid. Yeah, I'm just here for temporarily. I knew that. So I can't fuck up. And so they would come in, find alcohol, and I would get the trouble for it. I would be the one. And I wouldn't snitch on him. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. Like, I can't. I know he's here for the long haul. Me, it's like, whatever. Like, I'll be out. So I would get schooled. I'd get punished for the alcohol.
What was the punishments?
They would tell I would have to work 2 hours a day in the yard. I couldn't do anything at all. No fun ever. Like, I'm talking Monday through Friday. Most people there was no talking on the phone. There's nothing. Just straight homework every day. And I got straight A's. I was in advanced placement courses, straight A's, and still wasn't enough. So it was a lot of pressure. Sure. Like, and I still wasn't in their family, but it was kind of on the outskirts. But I was looked at as the bad guy. Like, hey, he's the guy. Yeah, he's the guy that's bringing in the alcohol too.
He's bringing the booze. You're the bad influence.
And I didn't say nothing. I just tell him, like, bro, you gotta just hide that shit, dude. Go take it and throw it out in the trash.
What's tell you?
Yeah. He's like, who cares?
Because he's not getting punished for it.
He's not getting punished. So I got in a lot of trouble for this dude. But at the same time, like, the sad part now, he's homeless.
Oh man.
Right now. And I didn't know that for a long time. 5 years ago, he called me and he said, hey, I'm homeless. Can I give you some money? So I called my foster mom. Said, what's going on? They go, do not give him money. And I go, what do you mean? He stole this. He did that. And I'm like, how can I not give a homeless person that is my family money? And they go, do not, I am begging you, do not give him money. We provide him money for food. They give him everything else but money.
But booze or drug money.
Yeah. So I'm like, and he kept calling me, and it was a different person. Like,
of course.
But it was so sad for me, like, dude, this is horrible. Like, your family's calling you for help, and I can't help you because I already know what you're gonna do with it.
Of course.
That was crushing, so for sure.
So after that, after high school, you graduated.
I graduated. I got a scholarship to the Air Force Academy in Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
It was ironic during that summer. Some random dude, oh, you got some nice hands. You could do some modeling in L.A. Keep in mind, like, I don't know shit about shit. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, modeling, what? This is big. And like any artist, like an artist might think, I'm going to get a record deal. This is major with Interscope. I got sucked into that. So I take some meetings, and while I was at the meetings, it's a bunch of bullshit. They're trying to sell me on some portfolio bullshit, well, just whatever. But so I went over there. But when I went out there, I met some actors that were trying to get in the game.
When you say out there, you mean out here in LA?
Hollywood, yeah.
Hollywood, baby. All right.
So I came from Riverside to Hollywood.
That's right.
Keep in mind, if you lived in Riverside the time I did, it was like an island. Riverside is a small little country city. No one knows anything. No one leaves the city. So you know everybody in their business. When you get out, and I go out there now, I'm like meeting people that are actors. And, who cares if
this was what, the late 80s or something? Early 80s?
87.
87,
Yeah.
okay.
So I go out there, and now I meet people, and they're telling me, I did an extra part. I did a scene in this movie. This movies that I watched on the movie screen. I'm like, what? How do you do that? So my dad, who lived in Newport Beach still at the time, I decided instead of going and getting a scholarship, I would go move in with my dad and try to be an actor. And so I moved in with my dad, and I signed up to be an extra, like the guy who walks in the background. And then if you get enough gigs, you become what's called a super extra, which means you're working every day, all day, 7 days a week. So I was making money being on every movie you can think of. And now I'm hanging out with superstars. Like, hey, when we're done with this, we're having a party at my house. Jeff Goldblum or whoever, they're like, oh, cool. Now you're seeing a whole different world that I've never seen in my life. And that's when I was like, whoa, this is amazing. But acting's cool. Never got any super big parts. It's all small parts. And I saw all these other guys around me doing the same thing. I'm like, that's cool. I just need to figure out a regular, normal job and make some money. And that's when I just started scrambling from job to job to get by and try to make money.
So I take you never went to college.
I went to 2 years of college just for the purpose, not to get a degree, but I wanted to understand business a little bit better.
All right.
So I took business courses at Orange Coast College on my own. And just, while I was valet parking at South Coast Plaza. And
But you paid your dues.
I put in work. And at South Coast Plaza, at that time, I met a lot of famous people, and they would come in, and because where I worked was like it's kind of a casual location where the celebrities came in on our side, and they would park the car and their wives would go shop. So maybe you had the coach for the Rams would come in, hang out. I would be hanging out while he's talking to me the whole time. It was kind of a mellow thing. It was more personal. And I would meet actors, Tommy Lee, and I would say, sir, can I ask you what you do? Like, I literally remember Tommy Lee rolling up in a Ferrari Testarossa black, dirty, like he went mud bogging in the thing. So I'm thinking this little kid with his hair, he gets out of his car, and keep in mind, I don't know that music enough. And I go, sir, can I ask what you do? And he goes, I'm in a rock band. I'm like, okay, can I ask you what rock band? He goes, this is the biggest rock band in the world at the time. He goes, there's a little group called Motley Crue. And I'm like, of course I know the name. I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. And it was like, yeah, man, hold the car right here, bro. And I'm like, Motley Crue, man. I'm just in my head, I'm just thinking, how can I position myself to be around him or do something with him? And that was always my motive. Like, how do I position myself around these people to put myself in a better spot? I don't want to ask anybody for anything. I want to put myself in a position where I bring something to the table.
You're trying to get game from these guys.
Trying to soak up game, yeah, right? 100%, every time.
So how do you go from, man, you went from poverty-stricken, you're in Riverside, you're gonna be a hand model for maybe a week or two until it doesn't work out.
Yeah, horrible job.
And where does I can start working in hip hop?
So I started just struggling. Keep in mind, I only listen to that every day.
Where are you staying at all these times when you're out here in LA?
Just popping around like wherever I could stay, So, but I moved back to my dad's on his couch in his living room. Said, hey, I need a place to stay. Can you let me stay here or whatever? And that was when I was going through some struggling times, like trying to get bullshit telemarketing jobs, just Jesus, whatever you could do, things, and getting fired, by the way, because I'm a smart ass. And so my friend finally, like, I got a, my friend called me, goes, hey, dude, I got a job for you. He's like, there's a job telemarketing. Telemarketing, but they pay $200 a week before taxes. Shit money, right? But you can work every week. I'll get you a job. And I needed money, dude. I had no money.
You're broke.
I'm broke. So I need the money. So he's like, I go, what is it? He goes, it's acrylic nails. And I go, dude, I'm not gay. And no disrespect. I go, no problem with that, but I'm not gay, dude. I don't do, no, it's not like that. So at first because you know, back in those days, it was like, if you were in that industry for sure, you were gay. And that's the thing. And I was like, that's not me, whatever. And I didn't understand it. He goes, just come work here. And I literally got a job, went down there and said, hey, this your friend? Yeah. You cool? Yeah. All right, you start tomorrow. So I did that. I had no car. At this time, I lived in Huntington Beach with a friend as a roommate on his couch. So my monthly rent was $400 a month. I had to make $400. That's it. I had no car payment, no other bills. I didn't have nothing.
That was the nut you had to crack.
That was $400. So this job's paying $200 before taxes, so basically $160 a week, right?
Right.
I got it. You know what I'm saying? Top ramen, 40 ounce. I'm straight every day, dude. As long as I had a transportation there. So I took a 2-hour bus ride every day to get there. And what's funny is like the only bus I got there, I'd get there before the shop opened and the bus would leave after the shop closed. But these guys thought I was a fucking rock star because I'm hanging out in front of like leaning against the door, waiting for it to open. And like, this guy's eager. I'm like, this is the only time I can get here, bro. So they started giving me more positions, more work. And in that job, we sold acrylic nail products that make the pink and white nails for salons. So would we call a salon and say, hey, you do pink and white acrylic nails? The stuff you use to make that, we sold it to you. The owner was world famous for being the fastest world nail technician. It was a little shithole office. I literally worked in a closet. They took the door off the closet. So I was in the closet for a period of time.
That's a good one.
So,
all right, Flossy's coming out the closet today.
So what's crazy is like, I'm trying to figure out how I can make the most money possible. And I'm trying to understand how this business works, how I can sell more product. And I became like, she had videos on how to do these nails. She would teach people how to do nails. And every now and then she would teach seminars on how to do them. So what I decided to do, watch her video, learn how to do a nail, and then teach these people that I'm calling, I'm going to show you how to do this faster and better and make more money. So when I call them, the product is this is a sidebar.
Right.
What I'm here to do is tell you how to make more money in less time. I'm going to show you how to make $50,000 a year as part-time work. And at that time it was an amazing opportunity. So I started writing every single item that we sold, because she used them in her video. What they're used, why they're used, and
recipe.
The recipe.
The recipe. You got the dope recipe.
Oh my God.
Floss, you got the dope recipe.
I'm going to tell you this. The owner her name was Tammy Taylor. So her brother-in-law was the manager. This brother-in-law was the dick, like the guy you see in Office Space, whatever. Like, I'm gonna have to move you back. What are you doing right now? I'm not bullshitting you. Everyone hated him. He wanted to pit workers against each other because he thought they worked better when you're fighting each other.
God, yes.
So at that time, there was, and I don't want to bore the listeners with this, but at that time, in the United States, the way they did is like you would get a book of, hey, call these people, and it would be every salon in that city or state, right? And so there was no territories. You get this area. So I started talking about, hey, let's break up territories. You handle Ohio, you just not. And the manager kept saying, no protected territory. Everybody's for themselves, because he wanted to pit people against each other. And so as I'm working, the phone worked on a rotary system, meaning if you call the 1-800 number, it goes, and I notice I'm the last in the line. That means that every single person in that office picks up the phone. Even if I called the client, hey, and I sold them, they're going to call back and place the order. And the rule was, he said, if they didn't mention your name, it's anybody's order.
Man.
So I'm like, fuck that. So you'd have to mention my name. But that's embarrassing to pitch that to somebody, right? You have to mention my name. You have to do that. So although I did that, I had a $900 order. We get 5% on top of our $200 for commission, right? I got $900 order. Boom, comes in. The guy said, I'll call you later today. I was in New York. Come in the morning, called him, hey guys, how we doing? I already placed the order. I'm like, what the fuck? So I go out, I'm losing my mind. Like, I don't remember the name. I walk out the office door and I scream like, I don't know who the fuck took this order, but somebody is going to die today unless they bring it to me right motherfucking now. And so everybody in the middle stood up, and I'm talking like I would have killed somebody. Like, and so this little nerd comes from the back and goes, oh, I'm sorry. I took the order. I didn't know it was you. And I go, dude, don't even talk to me. Because now it's on the manager's desk. He has to approve orders over $100. So he don't want to transfer the name. He's not that dude. I go, dude, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to do what you got to do to get that shit, or you and I in the parking lot right now. And he's like, and he ran past me. And I looked at everybody. I don't give a fuck. Any of you motherfuckers try to do this shit to me, I'm going to kill you. And I slammed the door, turned around. The dude brought back the order, gave it to me. I don't know what he did. And then the people in the middle came to me and goes, hey, listen. We protect territory. I go, what do you mean? We can control the phones because we're the first 4 people. And I go, he goes, if you want, we can start dialing out territories. And I go, let's do it. So I had a meeting with the managers. Go, here's what we're going to do. You get Ohio. I got Ohio. You get New York, this and that. We started dividing up. And we protect the territory. Fuck that manager. So we started doing that, and I started crushing the game. I ended up writing a book on how to sell with the oppositions. Like every rebuttal, like I had a page. So the owner would come in once a week. Keep in mind, I worked on Saturdays because we get commission, so I'm going to work if I can to make more money because I'm so broke. Like, that's another thing of Top Ramen. So I'm going to keep working. So on Saturday, she'd come in and she saw me writing this book. She goes, what are you doing? Writing a book on how to sell your product. What? She looked at the book and she was blown away. She went to the manager. By the way, you're not allowed to talk to the owner. The manager would lose his mind. He tells us, do not talk to her ever. He was that guy. So she gets the book, goes to the manager. Everyone gets that book. Flossy's going to give the book to everybody. He comes back to me, motherfucker, that's it for you, man. That's it. And I told her, I go, listen, he's giving me a hard time about everything, even though he told me not to talk to her, just so you know, da-da-da. And she's like, all right, cool. So him and I get into it. She happens to overhear it. She goes, you're moving up front to the front, like so she could be closer to me and hear what's going on. So I moved up to the front. Him and her get into an argument about some shit over me. She ends up firing him. Her brother-in-law.
Oh, shit.
So she goes to the whole company and goes, Flossy is the new manager because everybody in the company loves me. I'm tipping the Mexicans in the back packing the shit because he would treat them like shit.
You know how to do business.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, hey, bro, if you can get this out faster, I got you. Here's $10. Here's $5. And no one's ever done that to him. And you're not allowed to talk to him. But I'll still go after work. Hey, I got you, man. Appreciate it. Good looking. And this manager was shit on everybody. So he was like, oh, yeah. So the minute they said that, everybody's like excited. She moved me up on the top floor. And she goes, on Saturdays when she'd come in, she would see me working, and because I worked Monday through Saturday. What do you think you can do to increase the sales? And I go, I thought about this a lot. You pay us everybody $200 a week plus commission. If you put everybody on straight commission, there's people that are just riding for that paycheck, and there's people that are going to work hard and get that money. I'm one of those people. I will triple my money if you do that, and so will other people. She goes, really? I go, straight commission. You don't pay them if they don't meet that shit, or you pay them if they meet it, 20%. She's like, can you get people to do that? If you get 3/4 of people to do that, I'll do it. I said, yes. I went and took a vote. People were arguing with me. They didn't want to do it because people were riding. And I just started cussing people out. I go, look, you're here for $200 a week. I'm here for $1,000 a week. We can get it because that's the kind of money we're generating.
Right.
Let's do it. And so a couple people, hemmed and hawed. And then finally I just said, look, for those of you who do not meet it, I will pay you the difference out of the money that I'm going to be making.
Oh, shit.
So I go, and I will help you get to that point. So people go, all right, if you cover my difference, because they got families, and I get that.
They're used to that paycheck.
Yeah. I go, but the goal is to not be on that shit. And I go, because then you'll make 3 times your money. First week out, boom, I'm pulling in $1,300 from 250 something bucks or whatever, right? And now I got to pay a couple people because they didn't reach it, but I'm on their shit. Now I'm on their shit like, motherfucker, you better hit this shit because I'm not paying you next week. That was my attitude. Like, so now, boom, now everybody's making $1,000+ a week. And then she goes, what else can you do? And I go, how about we give away a big screen TV for whoever hits the highest sales? So I turned into the guy who gave this week I'm giving away a recliner. This week I'm giving away TV. This way a Hawaii vacation. And
you're the wolf of the nail place. You're not the wolf of Wall Street. You're the wolf of the nail place right there.
So I started crushing it. And then on top of that, I started calling clients and said, hey, if I come to your area, you pay me $100, I'll come to your area and I'll teach a seminar on how to make more money in less time. And they go, what? So I started getting my own clientele all throughout the country. And I get 50 people, pay $100 a person. I'll go out there and I teach them for 6 hours. I'd fly. So I worked Monday through Friday, fly on Saturday, did a seminar from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday, flew back on Monday, run the office. I did that for years, no days off, no bullshit, no vacation, no nothing. And so I actually got an award for perfect attendance with no vacation. 10 years.
Gee.
No vacation, perfect attendance. So, but ultimately I started teaching seminars that became so big I was doing them all throughout the world.
Really?
Japan, England, translators, thousands of people. And I was in all those magazines. Believe me, that's not what I wanted to do. What I'm trying to get money. Yeah. So I respect the money. So I'm gonna respect what I do, and I'm gonna because if you're a janitor, I'm gonna be the best damn janitor in the world. I'll teach seminars on how to be the janitor. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not that proud. I'm more about getting the money for my family, taking care of my people, and doing what I got to do. And then eventually, I was making great money, $300,000 a year, benefits, everything.
And this is back in the days.
Yeah, all the way up until like 1998, I started saying, I'm going to get the studio. I said, you know what? Because it was getting boring. And I kept telling the owners, like, look, if we don't expand what we're doing, because they were getting, keep in mind, I went from working in a closet to this little space with these guys.
That's right.
So they started making $10 million a year with me. So I was a big cause of that. So I started thinking like, and they made me co-owner. So they kept saying, hey, this, people want to buy this company. And this year, and I'm thinking like, when we sell the company, I'll cash out and be on my way. And I kept telling them that. But every year they kept stalling because I'm making more and more money for them.
Of course, you're the cash cow.
Yeah.
Right
so and I'm like, I can't. I would make all the policies for the company. We had over 300 employees in Florida. Over here, I'd fly to Florida, train all the employees. And I was like, I can't. I'm literally at the point where I'll come in, I want to fucking smoke people. Like managers or people that annoy me, like the brothers and the sisters. Like I'm having visions like I'm gonna come in with an Uzi and just light motherfuckers up. Like I was getting to that point.
You're about to go postal.
I was about to snap. So I knew it wasn't for me. So they finally said it. I go, let me just work from home because I bought a house in Corona of Green River 91. They were gonna buy me a house in Coto de Casa next to theirs.
Right.
But I don't want to live with a bunch of white people. That's not how I don't. And by the way, on my 30th birthday party, I had Kid Frost perform, Baby Bash perform. I had my studio full blast in my house. A bunch of people performed in my house. This is before they're popular.
And that's when they were popping.
Well, Baby Bash wasn't at the time. He was just becoming a rapper. Yeah, Frost was on the top of the world. I just everybody. I had a guest list of 300 at my house with armed security guards. I had wand people down with no weapons because I had mixing gangs and stuff coming in.
Right.
But it was off the charts. Like we had everything was dope. But I invited them. And then when I went back and they told me, this really bugs me this day, you need a better class of friends.
Oof.
And so right away, I already knew what they're saying. So in my head, and this is the same time they're offering me, they're going to buy me a house. At the time, it was $200,000 for a house, but it was close to them in a gated community. Warren G lives over there. And it's not the area, it's just them.
Right.
So I thought to myself, like, man, their idea of a better class of friends, like your class of friends is waiting for me to fail so somebody could take my position. If I call my homie, I got a situation, need you to come bring the burner. They're showing up at 2 a.m. Motherfucker, you won't throw me a lifeline if I'm drowning so you can get my spot. Like, I got homies that'll just look out. Like, what kind of class of friends are you talking about? So
shit.
That bugged me to that day. So they started letting me work from home because I was losing it. But what I do is got a building because at that time I'm making music with everybody. I started an independent production company. I brought fingers in.
Wait, so how did you get that idea? So while you were working, you were finishing the end part of the nail salon.
During the time, I knew that wasn't like, in my head, I'm like, this is not why I'm here. Right. I'm not here to fucking sell acrylic nail products. I know that's not why God put me here.
Right.
In my head, I'm thinking that. Like, it's got to be, I love music. I got to do something in music. I don't know anybody professionally in the music. So I started buying music equipment. I mean, back in those days, to get a studio, you had to spend a couple $100,000. Hard gear. So I started talking to people. My best friend lived with a group. It was in a funk band. And one of the people played keyboard. And I was there all the time hanging out with them. And I would go to the funk bands like the Goldfish and Slapback and these groovy funk bands that I would hang out with. They weren't really in the game, but they played instruments. So I started talking to people. Hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to build a studio. I'm going to start my own label and we're going to take off. You want to roll with me? People said, crickets. I'm like, oh, okay. I see how it is. So I ended up buying the gear, started bringing it over. I had at this time, because I was making great money, I had a place in Laguna Beach, 1,600 square feet, just me. And I started converting my dining room into a studio, adding walls, putting keyboards, all the gear. And Fingers knew about the equipment, knew how to hook everything up. So I said, look, I told him, nobody believed me, dude, like what I was going to do. So I started telling him, he started saying, yeah, I'll fuck with you. Fingers said, I'll fuck with you. Started coming over, we started playing keyboards, started writing songs together. And he would do the talk box. The first song we ever did was called My Boo. Him and I wrote together. And it was dope. It was like Roger Troutman type of vibe. I'm like, oh yeah, this is getting it. He wasn't into rap. I said, we can show him how to get into it. So I said, I'm going to buy a house. So I bought a big house in Corona with the three-car garage, converted that 3-car garage into a recording studio. Shit. And then I started going out, like we built up soundproof, everything, got the full studio called the Purple Room. I started going like, now we need hardcore rappers from the streets. So I started drinking Old English, because I always drink Old English, by the way. I still do, by the way, just so you know, Old English, not because I'm broke.
The reals. I
still do.
You're the Old English guy.
Still.
All right.
Now, I don't drink beer, just so you know. I'm not a beer drinker. But the only beer I would drink would be an Old English.
Shit,
and I don't care where I'm at. Like, doesn't care what kind of party. Like, if you ain't got an Old English, I just rather not drink a beer. Like, I just rather skip it. So I drink Old English. Everybody would know it. To this day, anybody who knows me knows I drink Old English. And I'd have a 40 ounce. And at the time, I bought the new luxury Mazda Millennia. It was a high-end model like that at the time.
Yes.
A little race car. And I had put a crazy-ass sound system in there. And I'd go to Compton and Watts. I'd tell people, where do motherfuckers get the caps peeled back? And they'd go, tell me. And I'd roll up there, and I'd come up there banging my shit by myself. Get out the car, and they'd be like, the fuck?
Fuck's this white boy?
100%. And I go, look, I had business cards. Back in the days, kids, we had business cards. So I'd say, I don't know if any of you guys rap, but I started a record label called IE Records. And I'm looking for artists, and everybody go, and everybody started busting. I go, come to the spot. So I started bringing homies from the hood to the spot, and I started making compilations. Today they call them mixtapes, right, but they were called compilations. Started making those, started selling them, started moving faster and faster. The .com, www.com era came up.
Right.
A company called me because I was slanging those hard. No radio would fuck. I couldn't understand radio. Keep in mind, I don't know one person in the music business. I had to buy books on even how does this work? How do you do this? So I bought books, read books, and I went to radio stations. Nobody gave me the time of day. I went to a radio station, a popular radio station in Riverside. I waited there every Sunday. They'd have a 4-hour hip hop show. Because back then, believe it or not, they didn't play rap on a lot of radio stations. Right. They only played mainstream music. So rap was like considered too gangster for radio. And so this radio station got tired of seeing me. They go, literally the dude said, bro, tired of seeing you. Come on in. And I had a compilation album. It's just me, by myself. I always made it a point to go by myself, so I'm not offending anybody, not confrontational. And I'm like, fuck it, what's this guy got?
With the whole mob.
Yeah, so it's easier that way. And by the way, if you ever, like, I could go to any concert in the world. I don't care what it is. I'm getting in by myself with not paying VIP. Just by myself looking like this. I promise you, I do it all the time because people think I'm supposed to be there.
That's white privilege.
That is white privilege.
That's real.
But it's also called having game.
That's right.
You got to know how to talk to people, though. Because there's a lot of white motherfuckers.
How are you dressing back then?
Fly as fuck. I always wore.
Oh, shit. Wait, before we get there, where did you get the name Flossy the Boss?
So this is why the dress came in. So I always wore suits. So I always wore suits looking fresh as fuck. Not just regular business class suits, but looking fresh, like kind of funky, a little fly for the time. But suits. So everybody be like, man, why are you always flossing? Why are you always flossing? And the reason why I did that is because it seemed to work. Yeah. And motherfuckers respect you when you.
The part.
Yeah. If I got a dirty tee, yeah, with khaki shorts, motherfuckers like, I don't know about taking this dude serious. So I started I figured if I'm gonna be back in that era, I looked up to people. What I was going for is like the Jimmy Iovine's, the president of Atlantic, the president of Universal Music Group. All these motherfuckers wore suits. Yes. So that's my idol. Like your idol might be, at the time Snoop Dogg or Jay-Z. They might dress a certain way, and that's the direction you're going. So you should probably dress that way. Right. So you dress for the job you want, not the job you have. So like,
good game, kids.
So my thing was like, I'm going to dress for the job that I want. And my job, those people that have the job that I want, they don't dress like busters wearing, tank tops and shit. Right. So I'm going to be that guy. And so I started doing that. And people would always say, you're always flossing. And then somebody came up, that's Flossy the Boss. Because I had my own, I created my own label, trying to understand how it works, structure and everything. And I became the boss of everything.
So who was the boss first? You or Rick Ross?
I was the boss before Ross.
Let him know, Ross. let Ross know, Flossy. You were the original
Hey,
boss.
Ross, and I'm the biggest boss you ever saw.
I gotta love it.
So, but ultimately, yeah. So I started the business, and I moved. As we were making these records during the .com era,
Right.
this company called MusicBlitz.com came and said, "Hey, we see what you're doing." Because I went to the radio, and by the way, at this time, radio had an impact. So they let me play on my entire mixtape, and I'm not even on the mixtape, but I'm introducing everybody on that mixtape because my goal is to sell the artist so I can make noise for my company.
Okay.
So I'm selling everybody how dope they are, where they're from. He's from Compton, he's from Watts, he's from wherever, Gardenia. And so ultimately, that got me a lot of attention quick. And then we're still selling CDs door to door for $20. I'd have people with placards that say, used to be in a gang, keep me off the streets type shit, knocking on doors. And that shit used to work, by the way. That shit used to work.
Hey, I hope there's an expiration there from the feds coming and knocking on Flossy's door.
Hey, what's crazy is that literally, so the artist will make $10 a CD, and I'll keep the rest. So the artist, not only
That's major, though. That's a great cut.
Dude, they make 10 CDs on one block. They got $100.
That's a great
Back
cut.
in that time, it's big money. So
Great cut, yeah.
So it's a good hustle. And then I started learning about the swap meets, going to indoor swap meets, and trying to sell CDs and understanding that process. But this guy from Music Blitz goes, "Hey, I'll give you $50,000 for a mixtape like you have, or compilation, excuse me. I keep saying mixtapes, but back in those days, we called them compilations.
Right.
$50,000, I could use that. You know, I was making money, but $50,000 to finance what I'm doing is crucial. So, okay, cool. So there's one catch. You need somebody famous on it. Get one person famous and keep the other people you got. Make new music. We'll do it. I don't know anybody famous. I don't know anybody that's in the music business. But I know everybody on the streets at this time. Everybody, every hood, everywhere you can think of, they fuck with me. Like family.
No floss.
Everywhere.
That's what's up.
So now I go, "Hey guys, brought everybody in, check this out. Anybody know anybody famous? No. Anybody know about anybody who knows somebody famous? Get at me. I'm going to pay you." So all of a sudden I get a phone call like at 3 in the morning. Flossy, get the jetpacks on. Kurupt's recording a song in Moreno Valley. And I'm like, what? And this is a gentleman by the name of Frank Nitty.
Okay, Frank Nitty.
Frank Nitty's my homies. When I moved out, he's from the IE, so I brought him out. We started working together. And so I jumped in the whip, headed over there. Kurupt was drunk, recording a song with South Central Cartel, Havoc. So, yeah, they're recording in their bedroom over their bed, literally with the mic over the bed, in a ghetto-ass plus spot. So I'm impressed, but I'm just thinking, like, in my head, as much as you're starstruck, I'm thinking 50 grand. Yes. I got fucking 50 grand. This dude's 50 grand right here to me. So I'm like, I got to get this dude. However, got to get him. I got to bag him. So, hey, Kurupt, how you doing? Started talking to him, and he was faded. I'm like, damn, bad time. In my head, I'm like, I need this guy to be sober. So I went to his car, and Kurupt's the type of person, anybody that works with him knows, he'll play a song to death 50 times in a row. The same song he just recorded. He does that. Everybody who knows him knows that. So I'm in his car listening to on cassette 50 times in a row. Psh, listen to this. Listen to I'm trying to, and Kurupt. So just so you know, I got a studio. I'm trying to sell him on why he should work with me. Keep in mind, they're the hottest artists in the game right now. Mm-hmm. Snoop's on this Up in Smoke tour. They're doing all this stuff. They're bigger than life. And I'm just a little loser from nobody knows. A white dude on top of that. Like, right. And I kept getting the thing people say, "What are you, Vanilla Ice?" I'm like, dude, I don't even rap. Like, I'm not even trying to rap. I'm just trying to get music out there, you know? So Kurupt goes, okay, gave me his number. And then to be kind of ashamed of this, but I stalked the dude like a bitch. Like I was a stalker, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Now, what year is this around?
99 or 2000.
Oh, shit. Yeah. All right.
So now.
So you're stalking Kurupt in 99, 2000.
It's pretty embarrassing. I'm calling him, and finally, like, he's not answering. Just, and there's no text message back in the days.
Oh, that's right.
Voicemails. Hey, Kurupt, hope was all good. You know, just trying to be all positive, but fucking like, bro, come on, man. I need you. And so they were doing the Up in Smoke tour at this time. I'm over here. I'm in Kansas City. I'm in Oklahoma. I'm like, dude, fuck, I don't give a fuck. I just need you here. So I caught him. Snoop doesn't live too far from me at the time. He lived in Chino. So, no, he lived in Claremont at the time. Now he lives in Chino, closer to me. And he's like, I'm leaving Dogg's house right now. He answered the phone. I go, bro, I come through right now. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning. He goes, check this out, homie. I'm going to come. Like, he was angry. I'm going to come through, but you better have some heat rocks. At the time, that was the thing. You got fire. Heat rocks. You better have some heat rocks. I'm like, I got that for you. You better not be bullshitting, bro. I'm coming through right now. So I called everybody. Waking up, come through. Boom, he comes in. I got live instrumentation because we didn't have all samples and stuff back in the days. We didn't have all that. I got people to play guitar. I got vocalists. I got songs with hooks, everything ready. He comes in. We made 3 songs that night. And he was like, came and gave me a hug. Flossy, bullshit, motherfucker. Fingers is no joke. You guys are all about that real shit, motherfucker. I'm mad respect. He leaves. And in my head, I'm like, what does this mean? Like, so what the fuck does this mean? Where are we at? What's up? And so he's like, I'm gonna call you in a couple days. About a week later, he calls me. He goes, Floss, I'm coming in. Because we talked a lot about business, like the music business. And he was like, how the fuck do you know so much? He goes, and I'll be honest with you, it's because I read books. I don't know so much, but I have an understanding. But so he's like, man, I really like you. Because I always pitch like, don't make songs with cuss words because they won't get played on the radio. And I'm trying to my goal is to give a DJ an excuse-free record, meaning you can't tell me the reason why you're not going to play the record other than you got to tell me the record fucking sucks. Okay. So meaning like, because a lot of DJs with bullshit, hey, it's got a curse word in it. It says the N-word. It says talk about smoking weed. Da, da, da. And we're like, nah, just tell me it sucks if you believe it sucks. If you don't believe it sucks, tell me you can't play it for whatever politics you got going on.
Tell me the truth.
Yeah, I just want to know the truth. So I figured if I gave him an excuse-free record, I'm talking like this diamond right here would tell you this is where you could start a scratch because this is where you can scratch. We would tag the vinyl so you could actually play the record. There's no reason you can't play my record. And the only reason you're not playing it is because you don't like it. And just tell me you don't like it. So Kurupt comes back and he's like, Flossy, I like you so much. I'm going to bring my brother down. And his brother was Roscoe. He's from Philly. He was 14 at the time. I'm going to bring him back here in a week. Okay, cool. He brings his brother down, and I end up doing it. He brought his mom with him, and he brought a lawyer. And I ended up taking legal guardianship of Roscoe when he was 14 years old.
Oh, that's unheard of.
Yeah, so Roscoe and Kurupt both moved into my house.
How long did they live there for?
Roscoe lived there for 2 years. We got him a major deal.
So you're the original. What was the show with the New York rich guy and what's his name? He was the small guy who passed away not too long ago or many years ago. The rich guys in New York, man.
I don't know.
That he adopted the 2 black kids. What you talking about, Willis?
Oh, Drummond? Phyllis Drummond?
Here's the original Phyllis Drummond.
But here's what's crazy. So
you know what I'm talking about, right, Chris? Yeah.
But at that time,
Webster. No, it wasn't Webster. No. Different Strokes.
Arnold. Different Strokes.
It was Different Strokes, right? Different Strokes.
Willis, right? Arnold, and Phyllis Drummond.
Phyllis Drummond. You're Drummond.
You always know the white people, So, but ultimately, like he moved in. We were making records every day, every night. That was part of the job. We were doing homeschools, meaning home studies, homework. I was helping with homework.
Do you think the stuff that happened to you early in your life with the foster or the adopted parents helped you kind of get them to and kind of father them, be a figure for them?
To be honest with you, I think just growing up broke, like it's easy. When you're poor, like...
Well, no, there's people that grow up broke and they have other people that grow up broke and come live with them and they'll treat them like shit and won't fucking really school them right.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I never even thought about that, but you might be right. I just assumed since we were all broke, we all lived at one point, we're all staying in one room. Everybody's family to us, right. Like Mexicans are like that too. Like everybody's, we bring you in, we're all family. Like, hey, stay on the couch, we ain't got a space, sleep on the floor. Like, I'm still like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, we'll make it work.
It was all love.
Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, I always assimilated, but you actually have a really good points on the cycle. Maybe that's part of the reason I was so embracing the people, like taking them in.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you might be right. I never even thought about that, but that's a brilliant observation. But ultimately, we did. We brought him in. I started helping him with his homework, and keep in mind, I'm raising kids on my own too at the same time. But then we had a song. We wrote it for Snoop called "I Love Cali." That song, "I love Cali in the summertime. I love it," and it became a national anthem for the summertime in Cali at the time. And Priority Records picked it up. And they want to, Roscoe did it because Snoop was too busy at the time. And we got him a major deal over at Priority. And so that took off. We started working on his album. But keep in mind, at the same time, Kurupt had us producing records on his album. He was signed with a company out of Philly called Entre Records. And now we're producing half his album with Fred Reck. And I'm working with all the big stars, like instantly.
Players.
Everybody, I'm going to Snoop's house, working with him and Snoop, coming back to my house on a regular basis now. So, and then my song's on the radio, which is the first time we heard our song on the radio.
How'd that feel?
Man, it's amazing, dude. I'll be honest with you, like, it's one thing to make a lot of money, but when you finally get like, at that time, radio was like, it kind of branded you as like you made it. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like people recognized all the struggle that we did. Now the world is recognizing the hard work that we put in. And that's what made me feel so good, I think. Just that people recognized the work.
Absolutely.
And so that was really crazy that happened. And then from there, Master P called me, hey, we want to do a remix and put this on Bad Boys. So just from one record just bubbling, everyone's calling. Now I'm in the house with everyone already. And it kept transitioning. And what I did notice is we're trying to develop artists that are not famous and make them famous. Not that easy and is expensive at the time. At the time, I would budget personally $150,000 to put out one song.
Ooh, that's a lot of money back then. Especially now, it's a lot of money.
Dude, imagine back then, like,
wow.
I got to be willing, if I believe in something so well, like a Roscoe or whoever, to put $150,000 to push one song that could fail. But it wasn't like I'm guessing. It's a pretty good calculated risk, which brought me into Chicano rap. So I'm in the store selling CDs, door to door, trying to sell them in the swap meets. The Korean ladies are saying, you need more of this. I'm selling black music, compilations with black artists. I'm looking at, what the fuck is this? If you get this, I'll buy it. I'm like, grabbing these CDs, they say, we'll buy. If you get this, we'll buy. I'm listening to it. It's oldies music with people singing in the background with fucking people rapping on top of that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? People are buying this. I'm like, you're buying this right here? I'm like, horrible production, but they're buying it. So I'm like, I need what's going on? And it was a lot of, that was moving more than black music at the time in the swap meets. So
many people don't know that.
Trust me, if you're doing that at that time, you would know. Like, okay. So I'm thinking like, we need to fuck with this. Because I was working with Snoop, and I'm trying to get on his albums. But also Snoop had 3 studios at his house at the time, where he had the Laker little basketball court in his backyard. Right. They're all famous producers. And I see like, I'm competing with these guys, and they're, to me, like, they're not balling out of control. That's not the arena I want to go to. Like, I don't want to take their money from them. Like, if I do a track from Snoop, I'm taking their money. I felt to myself, like Fred Reck, Battle Cat, all those guys. I don't want to do that.
Very
so
well-known guys. Yeah,
so I don't want to be that guy taking their money. So let me figure out my own lane. And so as I'm seeing this, I'm like, let's figure out this Chicano shit. And so, by the way, they didn't call it Chicano shit. They said Mexicans rapping on stuff. So, all right, cool. So I started doing some investigation and said the number one guy was Lil Rob. Keep in mind, nobody was on radio. No one was on radio. They're still selling more records than most of these guys. And so, all right, cool. Let me find out who this Lil Rob dude is.
You got no clue.
No clue. I don't know any of these people. So I got in a hold of somebody, and I contacted Lil Rob and his people. He was signed to a label, Upstairs Records at the time. They're good friends of mine now. I want to work with them. Let me do some tracks. You know, keep in mind, I'm not trying to do tracks for free. I'm trying to charge you as much as we're getting. Right now, we're getting, at the time, I think we're getting $2 to $5 grand a track at the time for the streets, because my record was bubbling on the radio. People were paying us. So so at that time, like, okay, let's get Lil Rob. The label goes, okay, we'll bring up Lil Rob. And I told him, and this is how much I want to track. Oh, we can't pay that. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, you know, if you want to work on it, he's famous. Da, da, da. I'm like, nah, dude, you got to pay us. So Lil Rob showed up, and the first day at my house, Lil Rob wasn't making great money at the time, but he showed up. I get home because I canceled the session. They didn't send me the money. So I get there, and he's in front of my house. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm Lil Rob, eh? I'm like,
Lil Rob, eh?
I go, what's up? They didn't call you? He's like, man, he had a Cadillac at the time. He goes, I came from all the way from San Diego. And the shit was like $100 for the tank, bro. I'm like, and I felt bad. I go, dude, can you call the label? Because they're supposed to send me money. They didn't pay me money. He's like, oh, fuck. He's a really cool guy. So we ended up getting a bite to eat, talking. I gave him some gas money for, because I felt bad. The label called me back. They felt bad. And they sent me the money. We started working on Lil Rob's music. And I love Lil Rob. Great dude. And we did 12-18-1, 12-18-2. We did Summernights. And so the way that record worked was every day I would come home from I still have my day job. So I come home from work, Fingers and Lil Rob working together every single day. I come home from work and play me records and I go, what do you think? What do you think? I went, no, yes, no, yes. And I heard Summernights. And they had it almost completed. And I'm like, that's the one. They go, Lil Rob doesn't like it. And I go, fuck that. This is a hit. And he's like, yeah, but it's not what he does. And I go, that's why we're here.
That's right.
Because we're trying to take him away from what he doesn't do and get him in. Because I already got radio. I can go get you played on radio. I'm the Radio Connect. I can get this on my own without your label. I can go do this. So the record was amazing. Rob said no. Fingers was iffy. The label said, nah, it's not going to be our first single. So I happened to be this guy named Demiza. You ever heard of him?
I don't think
Demiza was he was a program director for Power 106. He was rated, ranked the top 30 most influential people in hip hop at the time. So Kurupt brought me to the studio to work on a record with Quick. So I'm in the studio with Quick, but Snoop was there, Quick and Sugar Free, and Demiza. And so we're listening to music, banging all the records, You know, we're talking about Quick mixing our record. We're just going on and on. And I go, hey, do you guys mind listening to a record that we just did? And he's like, I'm sure everybody hates that, but they fucking put it in. Demiza put it in. Everybody lost their fucking Snoop, Demiza, Quick, Kurupt. Everybody screaming, ah! And they played it like 8 times in a row. So I called the label. I go, this is our single next week. Keep in mind,
they like the summer.
He's gonna put that shit on the radio tomorrow. And they're saying, oh, I don't know if Floss does. I go, listen. They're recording. I played it. Listen to them. They're losing their mind. It's going to go. It's going to work.
They loved it.
They loved it. And it went on the radio and it took off. It was like number 4 in the country.
It was a hit. It was a huge hit.
A great record, yeah.
It was a huge hit.
So, which actually helped out Rob a lot.
Why do you think it was that he didn't want to continue, or he didn't want to do that kind of music? Because it was just it wasn't gangster enough for them?
No, I mean, what's funny is like Rob is not really a gangster per se. Like, Rob is actually, in my opinion, he's like, he always wants to be low key. He doesn't want to be too famous. I offered Rob $1 million.
Wait.
He was about to end his contract. And this is when we were killing the game with everything. Right. We had all kinds of shit going on. I go, I'll give you, your contract's about to end. I'll give you $1 million. And he's cool with the people he's cool with. Meaning like, I've been working with this label from day one. I fuck with them. They fuck with me. I'm good. And that's his mentality.
He's one of those you think that's just kind of content where he's at and doesn't
100% content. Really good, humble dude. Always roll up with a fucking in his pickup truck and a Corona, and he's happy.
But do you think that's more of a shortcoming? Or you think that's a good thing?
Me, because I'm a hustler. Horrible problem.
That's what I'm thinking.
That ain't the business. And there's people that I personally know have issues with, irritated with him. Like, but hey, everybody lives their life according to their schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's the way you want to live, like one of my goals is corny goal. My goal in life, I always told my wife, was like, make enough money to where I buy everything I'll ever want, pay it off. It's completely paid off. And worst case scenario, I can work at Walmart as a greeter and pay for my food.
We sound a lot alike, buddy. Believe it or not.
That's the reality.
We sound a lot alike. You want to set yourself in a position where, you know what?
No stress.
Yeah, exactly. No stress. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. But you got to...
Yeah, as you get older and you have
grind
bills.
And hustle at the beginning.
Yeah.
But to me, is if Rob would have signed with you, he would have made more hits like that. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, we did do 1218 Part 2 and did well. But, I mean, if he would have signed with me, I probably shouldn't say this, but he didn't want to. At this time, there was a lot of issues with the black and the brown.
Okay.
I'm working with the brown and the black. So I got Snoop to agree to do a record with Lil Rob for nothing. Lil Rob was concerned about how that looked for him.
Oh, wow.
He didn't do it. I also got Ice Cube to agree to do a record with him. He didn't feel comfortable that the raza would accept it.
The homies.
Yeah. So he's that type of guy. Like, I don't know if they would, approve of it. Meanwhile, I'm working with people like Down doing every single record has somebody. And by the way, so at this time, Rob is signed to a label, independent label. Great guys. I love them to death. And I'm trying to find my own guy to do what Rob is doing, because he doesn't really want, in my opinion, he doesn't want to do the big shit that I want to do, like massive numbers. In my head, I want to take someone and do big things with somebody that's Chicano, because this is a lane that's untapped because now I have radio. And every record you heard on the radio at that time was from me. Every single record with a Mexican dude was from me. It came from me. Everybody. There was no record that was popping that wasn't from me. So I had that run. And basically I thought, I need my own guy to do that. So I started asking, who's the guy who can replace this and that? And somebody told me about Capone.
Okay.
Capone was a guy who was making noise in the streets and selling units. I saw him selling swap meets. Keep in mind, I'm the guy going swap meet to swap meet, door to door. I'm the guy selling shit. I see it. So I'm like, okay. Somebody linked me up with this Capone guy. So I meet up with Mr. Capone. We talk.
You have the glasses on?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just making sure it was a real one.
Yeah.
Shout out to Capone, bro.
I love Capone. And what I did realize with Capone, he was a hustler.
He's a businessman.
Fucking hustler. Like, this guy works.
For sure.
So I love that. Started making records together. Started doing a bunch of records. So then I did a deal with him. I met him at El Torito on the 91 freeway. Gave him a briefcase of $150,000 for an album, not a record deal, for an album. And we did an album together, and we made tons of money. We made over $1 million plus on that record.
Dope.
So it's all because of his hustle. Like, it really is. It's not, as much as people clown him or give him a hard time, that dude's a fucking hustler.
People just want to hate.
They want to hate. And, but I will tell you, like, this dude, I have so much respect for him. And he's actually a really good person. But I have a respect for him because I was with him from day when he was growing.
Right.
And I saw what he could have just, like, the album I did, well, that's great. But he took that to another level. Like, he didn't want to, like, I could have gave him more money for another album. He's like, that's cool, Floss. I got this. I'm going to go do me. Because he was on my schedule. Like,
you got me started.
Yeah,
we're doing this now.
Yeah, now he's on his own. I'm on my own. I got him 100%. Anytime something goes down, I got you. I want to support you. But that's the reason why I did his stuff. Like, it was because I wanted to get in that market and a lane, and we crushed it. And he did everything he told me he was going to do. So.
That's right. Hey, talk to me a little bit about give me the story about the Lean Like a Cholo and how that became so popular on the radio station.
So, Pocos Pero Locos, remember them?
Yes.
E-Dub and Kool-Aid were good friends of ours. And if you listen to their radio station at the time, I would say almost every single song on that station was our music because we did Chicano rap. I was focusing on, my goal was to be that guy that ran the Chicano rap music game. Meaning, you got to come through me if you want the shit cracking. So
I'm the plug.
I'm the plug. Because keep in mind, we're making great music. We're making basically black music, but we're putting Chicanos on it.
The essay spin on it.
Yeah, we're making good music
and it's
for
selling.
People. Yeah, we're making them sound amazing. And so ultimately, Pocos Pero Locos, 4-hour show every Sunday. All of their music is our shit. So everyone's calling us now. It helped us, thank you, E-Dub and Kool-Aid, because it did help us by you advertising our content. People knew they got to come to us. But they had an artist that E-Dub had signed because he was trying to figure out how to make money with artists too, and he needed better production. Sent him to us and goes, hey, this guy's not a hot artist, but we'd like you to help him make him hot. And so he brought him over to us. He didn't write. He didn't write lyrics, nothing. I said, so what do you want to do? He's like, can you make me songs? Like, meaning like what? Like music? We do it, music and lyrics. So I said, okay, cool, let's do that. So what I did is, like, you got to pay people. We'll get features. We'll do whatever. He had the money. He wanted to pay features. So I brought, what is his name? The singer, Cocaine.
Okay.
So I brought Cocaine, who's a good friend of mine, brought him in and had him writing in the beginning, I think it was called the California Cowboys was his first album. And we had everybody from the Dogg Pound. Everybody I knew was on his album. From Snoop to Daz, Kurupt, everybody was on his album. And that did really well, considering the label he was going through also was on the radio every Sunday. So that helped. And then he paid us for the next album. And then Fingers, who wrote, typically write the music, he would get a little annoyed, like, fucking Floss, you brought me another artist. I got to write not only the music, but the words. And so every day, a lot of times I would come up, if we're doing albums, sometimes I got to come up with the concept too. Like, okay, today let's talk about this, because you got to knock out 16, 20 songs, whatever. Today let's talk about this. So I have to format the day.
It's like a content creator, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
So
per song.
Yeah. So I'd come up with the concepts, and then finally the last day, he was gangster music. All shit was gangster. And then and he wouldn't even be in that room while we're making the songs at all. zero. Fingers would reference the raps and everything, and he would come down. Here's the next song, and he would just listen to it and rap it. So I was in there, and he goes, Floss, man, because I just did a couple songs. I did Keke Palmer from Nickelodeon, and we had #1 record on there, and I came up with a couple concepts with a couple records that took off, and they were big. And so he's like, Flossy, you got all the #1 records. Tell us what to do next. And I'm like, because everybody would say I have the ears for music. And so, so I was in there, and I go, dude, we got to come up with a dance or a word. And he was like, motherfucker, we don't dance. And I go, dude, I was at the club last week. Went into the club. I saw these homies literally jacking me. They're like, they had the lokes on. They had their elbows up. And they were looking at me, mad dogging me. They're like, and I did the dance. And this was like, everyone started laughing. They go, fuck you, Holmes, man. What's up? What's up? And I go, so you do dance. And this was after shoulder lean. Shoulder lean. Yeah. And so we started, I go, it's the Cholo lean. And they go, everybody started laughing. Like a joke at first. And I go, but seriously, that's the dance. And everybody's like, what? And I go, fingers, come on, let's go, man. Because I had a structure for music. We had a structure. That's why my records were working. At one point on Kiss FM, I had 7 songs on the radio. Shit. So I go, we tell them what it is. Like, we're going to tell them how to do it. And then we're going to describe it to them. And the same thing was if it's a word. Like, if I was going to tell you a new word from the hood, because white kids love, I'm going to tell you a word from the hood. And you tell them what it means, and you explain it to them like a definition, that's the hook. So the same thing, like, I'm going to show you how to do it, and we're going to tell you what it is. And so we did. They go, what is it? And it was literally elbows up, side to side. Lean like a cholo. And it's like, threw that up in there, and we did the chop and screw thing in the middle. Right. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun. So, and that's how it came about, really what it was.
Wow, that's a great story right there, brother.
And they were laughing at me the whole time. And to be honest with you, because at that time, like, I was pretty well connected with the Chicano community, like in the Latino, the Southsiders, Sareños, the big homies. Right. I was really well connected with people like the situation with Mr. Shadow. Right. His album, we were producing one of his albums. The big homies got caught up. They took all his content, like in the raid. Right. And they said, Floss, from the Pinta, say, Flossy, check this out. We need that shit turned around in 10 days. And what do you mean? I don't have nothing. I just have, the artist. And they go, if you can do this, we're going to give you this much money in this many days, but it needs to be ready for radio in this many days. So we had to do 14 songs, come up with concepts, ideas, everything, produced, mixed, and everything in 10 days. Shit. 10 business days. So if you ever listen to Mr. Shadow stuff, we were running out of ideas, and one of the songs on the album is called, they were like, fuck, Floss, what do you come up? We were literally burnt out on ideas. We're doing 2 songs a day. I go, let's talk about things to sell. And the song's called Sex, Drugs, and Money as Well. And that's the song. Let me talk about things to sell. Sex, drugs, and money as well. And that's literally how we were coming up with songs so fast to turn it around, because I needed to turn this around for the big homie, because that was money was going to go back out that he already put in to set his family up. So we needed to get that straight. So it was like, and it wasn't like there was no option. Like, I had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was the days, baby.
that was the order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and we delivered.
So what do you think happened? Because I mean, you were right there with the Chicano rap when it was selling, it was peaking. We were talking a little bit off air about myself and how we have issues like bringing certain podcast people coming in who are, Chicano rappers or just SA rappers, right? And it seems like they will go to other platforms before they go to SAs. What do you think happened with the Chicano rap?
Well, I think at that time, and this is kind of depressing, but people would like call me and say, Flossy, I want to do a record. Keep in mind, I'm also working with superstars too. I signed Donnie Wahlberg from New Kids on the Block. I'm working with big artists too, like crossover, hip hop, rap, and everything. And their goal would be, Chicano community would be like, I want to do like what Capone's doing. I want to do like Lil Rob's doing. And the reality is like, I'm not interested in doing that, because that's 1/10 of what these guys are doing. Your goal is structured to meet the bare minimum. Right. And by the way, those numbers are great, gold, and but they're not platinum. You need to have a bigger vision. And so what they would do is they would emulate Lil Rob. They would copy his style, and they would copy that. And a lot of that music, if you listen to it, sounds very similar. Like if you play them back to back, they sound the same. And the reality is, like, at that time, that was what everybody was trying to pitch, and people got burnt out. If you heard Lil Rob, why would you go for a secondary dude who was trying to copy Lil Rob? So I kept trying to tell people, get out of that. We got to grow because time's growing. We got to grow. We got to keep it moving. And for some reason that didn't click with the entire community. It just didn't click. I couldn't figure it out. And so I personally just go, I gotta go with where the money goes.
Of course.
And I don't mind taking somebody with me, but I got to go where the money goes. But you also got to be willing to grow with me.
Yes.
If you want to stay stagnant, then that's the place for you. I mean, and that's cool.
You're not going to grow.
Yeah. And you're not going to make the money that I want to make, because I've already made that money. Now I want to make more money. I don't want to make 10,000. I want to make 100 or make a million.
For sure. You're trying to step your game up.
Yeah, exactly. So I went through that. I don't want to keep repeating the process. And ultimately what we already know what happens. If you copy the biggest, your sales are going to be lower. The guy who copies that, lower, lower, lower. Then everybody's fighting for scraps.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy.
But do you see and it's not even Chicano rappers nowadays. You got a bunch of homies that are rapping nowadays that it seems like it's a new trend, and it seems to be much more popular than it
Yeah,
was,
it is.
right?
Everyone's a rapper.
Right?
Yeah. I think it's a popularity contest now. It's not, you don't have to sound dope. You don't have to sound, you
You just got to be popping.
got to be popular.
That's all it is.
Hold up. Is there a wagon run to the bathroom?
Of course. We
Okay,
can take a small break real quick. Hold on, Chris. Put a break. Yeah, we'll do an intermission real quick. And after the intermission, we'll take some phone calls. Give me 1 minute here.
I'm going to go urinate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where's my name, Gil? I don't know. You're not a member, homeboy.
I'm not a member?
Make sure we read the super chat.
Yeah.
And we're back for that.
Yeah. All right. How
Oh, you know.
we're back up and rocking and rolling. Somas, you ain't a member, homie. What do you mean was your name, man? Playa? These guys. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's see what the super chat is. What you got? All right, let me see if I can read that one. Okay. Bestia, if we lose freedom here, we have nowhere else to escape. Respect is everything. All right, there you go, carnal. Thank you for that $4.99 super chat.
Yes, sir.
So, was that a good bathroom experience? You good now?
Oh, I feel great. Yeah. Everything came out okay.
Oh, man, it all worked out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet relief.
All right, so I got to ask you, hold on. Before I forget, because then people are going to say, no, Gil, you don't want to ask him. All right, Flossy. So obviously, when you're in the music industry, any business, you're always going to have unsatisfied customers.
100%,
right?
yeah.
Right? And I had a question somebody was saying, and I'll read some of it to you. My name is, I don't know if she wants me to read her name, so I won't do it. She said, last year, June 2021, I wired more than so much amount, a good chunk of money, to you, aka Flossy, more than 30 grand, right? Investment in somebody's album. I have not seen a return, and when asked to see the books, I get the runaround or completely ignored. Money was also intended for a concert that was never happened. My question is, let me see, when can I see the books, or how about returning all my life savings? Again, that was something else. So what do you, I think you know what we're talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know the person you're talking about. So in this situation,
right,
I actually am not the person that's actually taking the money. I'm the guy who's doing the contract paperwork. And by the way, for those who know me, know I do contracts and negotiate deals for major labels and everybody. So for this particular deal, I'm actually the guy writing up the paperwork,
right,
doing the terms to both parties. They're saying, hey, I would like this return. I'm going to put in this much money. The other party's saying, I'm going to do A, B, and C. So I write up the paperwork, and those two parties do the deal. I just happen to be the guy, brokering the deal, if you would. I'm not the guy that's taking the money, doing the, hey, this is my money. I'm not even involved in any of those things.
Do you get a percentage of the money that they're giving you?
I actually don't. I get paid to actually write
Just
the
to
contract.
do it.
Yeah, to write the paperwork.
Fee.
Yeah, just to write a piece of paper. That's it.
So you're not the guy.
I'm not even structured in the deal. If they were making $1 million, I wouldn't get anything other than writing that piece of paper.
So who would this person need to call to see the contract, the paperwork, and all that?
So the person they would need to talk to would be the actual person they actually did the deal with, and to have the conversations, because she's never had conversations with me ever about any of the terms or the deal. All I did was write the terms based on, hey, both parties want this. Can you put this on a piece of paper? I write all these things up. I give them the paper. I don't sign anything. Both those parties sign everything. They agree to the terms. So they would need to contact that person, and she knows who that person is.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you find yourself ever having to defend yourself a lot, or anytime just because people always sit there? Because I had some other guy I've had on my podcast. He said the same thing. He's like, oh, Flossy's he didn't say shyster, but he pretty much said bad business. Do you find also that you do certain business with people, maybe they don't understand the contract? Or
well, I want to actually...
what's the biggest fight you have most of the time in the industry?
No, you know what? Let's talk about. I know him as L-Boy.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So L-Boy, he did a record with Snoop Dogg. I think that's what you're referring to.
I was referring to. I didn't know if you wanted to say it, but
no,
yeah.
I will talk about that. So he did a record. He was somebody else's artist. So and maybe L-Boy doesn't know. I actually like L-Boy. I don't have any issues with him personally. And I didn't know that he did have any issues with me. But maybe he doesn't understand. He actually doesn't own that verse. Somebody paid for that verse.
Oh, that's what it was. He said you try to sell his verse to Snoop Dogg, something like that.
No, so what happened was somebody came and paid for Snoop's verse. Somebody with him.
Okay.
Like an investor, if you would.
Right.
That investor, I know that investor. So he did the verse with Snoop. This investor paid for that verse, and that particular person took a little vacation. When he got out, he'd asked L-Boy, maybe don't release this record right now. Let's figure out what we're going to do. But when he got out, he needed to make money. He spent a lot of money for Snoop to do this record. So he had called me, and maybe L-Boy doesn't even know this, and say, Flossy, can you figure out how to make me more money? Get me some money back on this record. I need money right away.
Right.
So he had called me, unbeknownst probably to L-Boy, so maybe that's why he's upset with me. He doesn't know. But that's the guy who owns it. So there's no need for me to conversate with L-Boy. He's just a player in the game. Right. I'm talking to the boss. The boss saying, Floss, do whatever you got to do.
He owns it.
He owns the verse 100%. Not only does he own it, he's got paperwork.
So how does that happen where L-Boy believes that that's
because I personally think, I don't know for sure, the two of them had a falling out. The investor and him weren't talking for a period of time. And probably because of money. I mean, like, I spent a lot of money. I need to get some money back. He called me, Flossy, how can we get the money back? Here's what I got. How can you help me? I said, look, we can allow other rappers to use the verse, license it to them. They allowed to use it on their records, and you can make the money from that. That was an option. Or we licensed it to use for movies, video games, things like that. And that's how that came about. So, and it's like, if he was to call that person, I don't know if they communicate, he'll find out the exact information. So,
do you also see that a lot in the industry? Because when I hear Snoop Dogg, I also think of, I remember I had the homie Tito Rodriguez in here. Is it Rodriguez? Or Tito Hood Santa. And he had a pretty good lawsuit going for a minute with Snoop Dogg because it was kind of the same thing, but it was over a beat.
you know what? Snoop's a great dude. I've never had any issues. If Snoop,
no, I'm not saying Snoop himself. I'm just saying in the industry, do you find stuff like that where people would just take it and after that, you know what, kind of sue me if you want?
Not really. To be honest with you, I'm not really involved in a lot of crazy shit. Like, it's usually people, for example, like if you're like, this is one thing I learned in the game. Right out the gate, I started my own record label. And when we're all hanging out talking, dude, I'm going to put you out. We as a team are going to do A, B, and C. We're going to I don't have a lot of money, but what I'd like to do is I'd like to put you out. And if we all work together, maybe you can get famous and we can all make money. Everybody rides for that. But the minute you send a contract, Flossy's sending you a contract because now we got to put this, whatever we talked about, on paper.
Yep.
Now they look at you. This happened to me. You're the guy with the money. This transitions into like, now he's the guy with money. So initially you signed a contract, it was all homies, but now all the homies start saying, man, you did the record with no advance. Normally you get an advance. When we already had an understanding that I don't have money to give to you. We're all starting something new. We're trying to grow. And so they start getting in the grass is greener on the other side to the people, and the people start getting in their ears saying, oh man, that dude owes you a month, this and that. And all of a sudden the record goes out. They hear it 2 times on the radio. Lord knows that might have been the only time it ever played on the radio in their entire career. And they go, damn, you made $1 million and Flossy owes you $1 million. And that's usually what happens more so than anything.
Right. Hey, get the phone call real quick. You know what? Flossy, you got to mess up your beautiful hair, man.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. The phone calls. The phone calls. Let's see. You got to mess up your beautiful hair right here, bud.
Okay.
Let me see what you got. Breaker 1.
Check 1, 2.
Let him through. Boo Boo.
What's up, man?
What up, Boo Boo?
What's up, dirtbag?
What's going on? Am I on live or what?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're on live. Oh boy, we got Big Flossy in the building, carnal.
What's good in your hood?
No, yeah, well, guess who I just ran into right now, man?
Who?
Fucking Ed Lascaux from Channel 11 News.
Oh, shit.
I ran into him, started talking to him. I'm like, hey, follow us on fucking on American Cholo on YouTube. And he's looking at me. He's like, American Cholo? I go, yeah. He's like, all right, I'll look it up when I get back to the office right now. I was like, hell yeah. Well, that's why I'm calling you, man.
All right.
Nice,
I thought you had a question for our guest. You obviously didn't get the hint when I sent you the notification that we're going live today at 6:30, homeboy.
Oh, shit.
But I will see you Thursday, fool.
Thank you for the promo, though. That's big.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why you call me a dirtbag.
Yes, dude.
Damn it. No, I didn't get the hint. And I was like, why didn't you send it to me? And then I was going to call you, and then like my day just kept going, you know?
Later.
Oh, man.
Later, dirtbag. Yeah, that's my co-host right
Okay,
there.
cool. All
He,
right.
he didn't get the hit. See, this sounds pretty good right here.
That sounds good, yeah.
Nope. I think this is a problem too, and I've seen it happen time and time again. A lot of people are just very ignorant to contracts, how they work. They don't really take the time to read them. They don't really have an attorney get them. They don't know the business because I've looked at contracts myself doing construction, and some of them are
confusing,
like,
yeah.
oh no, some of them are like they're trying to bone you. They're trying to get you, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that that's a issue a lot of times with people from I'd say from the hood, that they're getting these contracts, not really paying attention to what's written on them?
Well, I think what happens is like, this is very common. And because I'm pretty accurate, when I do a contract with somebody, I want them to tell me, what are you looking for? And the other party. And by the way, I do contracts for Interscope, Geffen. I do. They pay me to do contracts. So my goal is to figure out, I'm neutral. Tell me what you're looking for in this. Tell me what you're looking for. And I'm happy to explain to either party, whatever it is. Hey, here's what you're getting. Here's what's happening. And I would encourage everybody to read through the agreement themselves, not another party. Read yourself. And if there's not something you understand, highlight it and ask the party, what does this mean? Because they're more than happy to explain it to you. But ultimately what happens is you might even tell them, hey, you break it down. Here's everything. And then when the money comes in, we've all talked about it and agreed about it. And they're like, there's $1 million and you're getting 200,000. What the fuck? That's the problem. It's like when the money comes in, all they see is green. They don't, dude, go look at your agreement. And all they can think about is like, you're ripping them off.
Right.
That's what happens. And it's sad, but it's true.
I can see that. And they don't see that, okay, you got $1 million, but that's not all profit, brother. You got, you know.
It's like when you do your taxes, dude. I made fucking $5 million this year, but I can barely feed my family. Well, that's because you did this, you bought this, That's the way it works.
Did you ever find yourself, or do you know that, especially maybe back in the days, that you would have to pay money to radio stations to play your music?
Oh, I learned before anything.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I learned before. In fact, that's the reason why I was so successful, because I started paying DJs, getting their account numbers from big stations. I can't mention their names.
You had to grease the wheels.
They said, dude, give me your account number, Floss. I'll give you my account number. Shoot me 500. Boom, boom. I started doing that all over the United States, 500, 500,000, 1,500, whatever. Pretty soon, at this time, just so you guys know, there were people that controlled entire markets, meaning like your song could not go in full rotations, which is considered 40 spins a week on that station, unless they know about it. And if they know about it, let's say it happens to be the biggest song in the world and it happens to play on their station just by chance because everybody loves it. They're going to, Flossie, what's up? We got your song on the station. I go, yeah, it's because it's hot. Well, here's the business. And they break it down. And, if you wanted to keep it going like that, here's how you get out. And that's what happens.
If not, the rotation will slow down.
Not slow down.
It's going to stop.
Gone.
Really?
Yeah. 100%.
Really?
Yeah, it's like that.
That's like the dope game, Floss.
Yeah, so I happened to get lucky. I met these dudes, my records were paying. I started paying the piper. And by the way, these are the same people this is before I even fuck with majors, because no majors would even fuck with me. No independents, no A&R guys would talk to me. Nobody would even take a meeting with me. All of a sudden, these dudes were calling me, and this is how my record started breaking. Hey, come up to that, because now I'm paying them. Like, okay, this is how the cost of business. Come to my house in Frisco. Come to the house. The guy who decides, I'm talking from Usher, whoever, whoever you can possibly think of number one records, this is the guy that says it's number one.
Oh, shit.
And so I go to his house. This dude's got a glass ceiling with signed guitars from Elton John, everybody in the ceiling, because he broke Mariah Carey's records, every record you could possibly think of. He broke it. And now he's my partner. We're at dinner with bringing the wife over. We're hanging out. He comes to my house, hangs out with me for a week. Now my records are on the radio all day, every day.
And that's how it worked then. How does it work now? Because nowadays, from what I'm hearing, is the DJs really have no power nowadays.
Nowadays, because radio is inconsequential, meaning like kids do not listen to radio.
Yes, sir.
Your kids are not listening to Power 106 and 99.1. They don't know who's a DJ for what. A big boy wouldn't even be a factor at this point for them. So ultimately, they're listening. The majority of music is discovered from TikTok.
Shit, social media.
Yeah, TikTok for sure. The kids are discovering music from TikTok. The way they're streaming it, 65% of the music, if not 75% now, is from Spotify. So your two goals, because people hit me all the time, like, how should I market? I want to get radio. I want to spend this money on radio. First of all, radio is a waste of time. It's super expensive. Secondly, kids are not listening to radio.
Older people are.
You go where the fans are, which is TikTok and Spotify. And by the way, super cheap. You can pay influencers to share your music, do a duet, do a dance to it for super cheap. And I have an artist, Lil Maru. I got him signed with a major deal, got a $5 million deal with him. We've been grinding it out. Labels don't release money. Like if you get a $5 million deal.
Like before.
No. You get a $5 million deal. And I hope I'm not speaking out of term. I love you, Lil Maru. Grizz is the road manager. He's handling all the business for Maru. Fat Guapo, I love you. But the way it works in the game, So, and Zeke, I love you too. No disrespect. But the way it works is like, they don't release budget. Like you get a $5 million deal. You're not getting $5 million in pocket. The artist is getting a couple of dollars for his pocket. Good money, not bad money. Thank God. Thank you, Zeke. Money goes in his pocket. Then you got to perform. Once you start performing, the label's not going to go do all the work for you. You're going to go break. They're going to help you, but they're going to go break the records yourself. Once your records reach certain earmarks, then they'll release this fund. It reaches this, you release another fund. So right now, we average 1.7 million streams a week. We're doing a video and a song every week. But we have to get to 2.5 for them to release the funds that we need to do the next thing.
Oh, shit. It's like a construction loan. We got to see so much done before you get the money released.
Now, and it works great for both parties because we benefit. The label benefits because the money's coming in, and the artist benefits because the popularity. Once the artist gets popular, we're not worried about streams. We're worried about getting 50,000 minimum a show. That's where we're going. And so Lil Maru Lil Maru 619, go check him out if you haven't checked him out. You may know who he is. You may have heard his music, but he's really killing the game. Last week he was the #1 most downloaded or streamed song
Little
in
Mario
California.
619, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's see who's calling in real quick, man.
Call from
Shadowban.
Oh shit.
Hello. Who's this?
What's up? This is Shadowban. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's
Yes,
up,
sir.
Shadow?
I just wanted to ask Flossy a few questions. I like the interview.
Oh, thank
I see
you.
your
Man.
vision, Flossy.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate
see-
you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I see your vision, and I'm an artist myself too, and I just want to ask you some questions.
Go ahead.
You got a couple questions. I ain't gonna give you 2 hours. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to spit some bars for you, and you could let me know what you think.
That's up to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool,
Hit
yeah.
it, homie. Hit it.
But hey, just so you know, Shadowban, just feel free to DM me and we could talk anytime. So
There you go.
you're Flossy the Boss. We can talk anytime. But go ahead and shoot your shot.
Your shot.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. We
go
got
ahead.
you.
Turn him up a little bit.
All right. My art is intensely like Leonardo da Vinci. Speak your bars. Go ahead. Try to convince me, but keep it cordial. Because you don't want to see a legion of entities leaping portals to seek your torso and throw you in the back of a Lincoln four-door. Like a freaky porno, I'm fucking raw in the stream. The diabolical genius, the plot for the king. Don't blame me for trailblazing. It's the industry who set this up. Our slate is blank, but you rappers better hide under your blanket because I'm here to blatantly correct this junk. Prove how bland you are to the rest of the fake intellectual chumps. I guarantee your pen ain't up to par if you don't have an extraterrestrial one. It doesn't matter if the judges are biased. Just go read the written scriptures of David crushing Goliath. It doesn't mean God is upset when you hear thunder and lightning. It means the serpent's only purpose is to puncture your iris and release them parasitic cells that turn your body to a prison cell. Your soul is shipped and sold. You couldn't grant it back with a wishing well, though I wish you well. Big say so, as delicate as a vase so. The oracle was ordered to come put you in your place, Tro. Even if you're immortal with a sword and a loaded Draco, I'm still splitting your torso and so in half with a hurricane flow. You don't want to go toe-to-toe with me.
All right, brother. All right. Hey, that was dope.
That was dope.
That was dope.
Hey, so is he still on?
Yeah, he's on. He's on.
Hey, so are you
30 bars.
Chicano? Are you
Like-
Chicano?
Yeah, I'm Mexican and Hondureño.
He's Cali Mack,
I'm
homeboy.
American.
He's Cali
That's
Mack.
dope.
man.
Okay, that's dope. You
Hey,
sound dope, dude.
Hey, tell him where they can find you at.
Go check me out at Flossy the Boss. Just DM me, bro. I'll give you some tips, man. I'm happy to talk to anybody. The one thing people look at me like, go ahead.
That was a battle rap verse. I know about structuring like a hook. I have a few mixtapes out. I'm working on my official album. I know,
Where you
the
from?
8 bars for a verse. I'm from California, Palmdale.
Palmdale. Okay, I was just out there with that boxer, Gucci Mane.
Almaz.
I was out there doing an interview with Gucci Mane a couple days ago.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm going to hit you up on Instagram, bro.
All right, brother, I got you. Just
Hey,
hit me up.
Good stuff, brother. Man, that's good stuff. Good luck. That was actually pretty dope, man. Pretty dope, right? Hey, Floss. One of my homies came in today and he asked me about Mack 10 and Ice Cube beef. Did they break up on a certain beef?
So back in the days,
There we go. Short dog, this for you, homeboy.
so back in the days, Mack 10 and Ice Cube, they were partners, and they had a little bit of an issue, and it was personal. So Mack, I want to make sure I don't speak out of turn, but Mack said something that might have offended Cube's wife.
Okay.
and he wasn't directing it at her, meaning like hypothetically, like, man, tell the bitch to stay in the place, that type of vibe.
Right.
Wasn't those exact words, wasn't even close to that, but imagine that. So Cube is still cool with Mack. Cube's wife is not so cool with Mack. So imagine, like, I offered Cube and Mack $1 million to go do a show together, like a reunion show. Cube wanted the money, but imagine going back to your wife and saying, when you're making the kind of money he's making,
I know where you're going.
and hey, we're gonna go fuck with, oh, fuck that dude.
Nope.
You know, so it becomes like hard to do. Cube is with it, but you know, your wife said, you know, check this out. You know,
That's your partner right there, man.
so it's like that, and you know, they're cool. Like Mack and Cube don't actually personally have a beef, but you know, it's kind of it hits home. You know.
So that's what it was.
Yeah, it's really not that deep, but it is what it is.
No, it's once the wife says,
Yeah,
Charlie
she shut it
Holmes,
down. You know what I'm
Yeah, that's like me trying to bring somebody here to the podcast and she ain't feeling it. She'll
Right.
be like, no, it's not happening. Like, you guys are good. Over there, I can see you. Hey, how you doing? But
Yeah, and back in the days, you might say, "Man, we need the money," and the wife would say, "Okay, cool."
yeah,
But
yeah.
when you don't need the money, you're like, "What the
that-
fuck are you doing?"
That's what we try to put our position in. We try
Yeah.
to get into that position where we don't need the money like that anymore, right? Hey, somebody asked about Toker from Brownside.
Toker from Brownside, great dude, and he got caught up in Mexico, man. It's like,
Put the number up there, Chris, please.
yeah. So he got caught up in Mexico, and unfortunately, he didn't make it. I'm not sure of all the the exact business. I actually don't want to speak on
Did
the
you ever
business.
work with them?
I did work with Toker, yeah. Back in the days, I worked with Toker, and I believe he was a good friend with Baby Bash. I think that's how I met him originally. And so Bash is a good homie of mine. I've known Bash, before he started rapping because he was with Frost all the time. And a little history about me: the first artist I ever worked with, Chicano, was Frost and Baby Bash. And the reason why is because I was trying to get into that genre. I went to a club in Hollywood, the Roxy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, back in the days. So I went over there and Frost was performing. And I'm just trying to figure out what do we got to do to get on somebody's shit, somebody who's doing something. And Bash was there. Bash wasn't really a rapper at the time. Bash actually was more like a bald-headed cholo at the time. Yeah. So I got pictures with him with bandana and cholo hat, head.
Where's Bash from? Like what's
From the Bay, Vallejo.
Oh, okay, it's from
Vallejo,
Vallejo.
yeah.
Okay.
So with In Too Deep, JT,
yeah, okay.
So, but ultimately, yeah. So we went over there. I bumped in, like, I had balls enough to just go up to the guys performing. Didn't know who I. Look at me, goofy ass white dude going.
Now you flossy, baby.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So I went up to dude and go, "Hey man, I'd like to do music with you. My boy does talk box like Roger Troutman." Frost was like, "What?" And he don't know me from a can of paint. So dude goes, "All right, we're gonna go to the studio after this." And we went to the studio after that. Fingers to the talk box, game over. Frost and Bash and I became like family right away.
Oh.
So that's how that Chicano, that was, keep in mind, like all those other connections are separate, but Frost and Bash are really like family because of that. That's how it really started, yeah.
That's right. Somebody asked in the comment section, Black Wall Street Media, ask Flossy if he still got what it takes to break an artist in the industry right now. Can he still make deals happen?
Yeah, so I actually have an artist that I'm breaking right now, Little Maru, 619.
That's the one you're talking about. You can get that up there, Chris.
Yeah, so I'm breaking that artist right now, along with Zeke over at Kiss. And ultimately, if we break him, then you'll know I still got it. If we don't break him, maybe you say, fuck Flossy. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying. The game's not easy, dog. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's changed quite a bit, right?
It's a different struggle. It's not something like you can throw money at and it's going to work because it's more about like key people just sharing shit and content creators. So I can't tell you I can guarantee some breaking somebody, but ultimately what I can tell you is that if you do put in the work and the numbers are going up, like what we're doing right now, you're going to be successful.
That's right.
We're making money now, so.
Caller hung up on you. Got scared of you.
It's all good.
Hey.
Can't fuck with the pressure.
Hey, I've heard some... Pressure was pies, baby.
Yes.
Hey, I've heard... I don't know if it's conspiracy or
That's
not.
conspiracy.
As far as like the late 80s into the 90s, it seemed like a lot of rap groups like Boogie Down Production and how you were saying how they would sit there and have messages and don't do it, cocaine, all that. They were kind of pushed off and they started bringing in gangster rap because some people believe that gangster rap is like poison to the hood.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, the reality is like what sells is what people want to hear. That's really what sells.
Yeah, porn sells doesn't mean it's good for schools.
Oh, hell no. Everyone loves porn, but it's not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? No one talks about it in public, but porn is the biggest industry in the game.
Of course.
So
yeah,
the reality is like, if you don't buy it, it doesn't sell. So
but crack sold a lot too back then.
Because that shit was hot. You know how much work you get done when you crack? You ever do crystal meth on a bender? Like, just go to work, baby.
On a good one, on a sick one.
Yeah.
Hey, let me get some phone calls real quick. All right, what do we got? Who do you got?
Oh, that's my homie right
shit.
there. That's my brother right there.
Let him through.
What's
Big
up, Nitty?
Frank? What's good, player?
Nitty gritty, baby. Just so you know, who did I say introducing me to Kurupt?
Yeah, Frank Nitty.
There you
Come
go.
on,
It had to be me, nigga. It had to be me.
Who the fuck else?
Hey, Flossy. Man, I swear to God, I got like 10 calls. Like, man, hey, you got to check this little interview out. Flossy on there. And yeah, people don't know the history, bro. But
No, we're family. That's for sure.
Yeah, just to let it, just because I did chime in on it. You know what I'm saying? And Flossy, what you did on me, you did something that a lot of people didn't think can happen on me. You took the Chicano rap game and you took it to another level. And I don't give a fuck what nobody said because I was there. I was there.
You
with
did. You're from day one. Yep.
From day one. So
you saw me go from the black to the
Flossy
brown for sure.
So Flossy said the motherfucker that called him in the morning and said, hey, Kurupt over at the studio, that was me. I took him over there after that. You know what I'm saying? The history started. The history started with Kurupt and Roscoe.
That's exactly
right. So let me
right,
take it back, though, to Down. See, a lot of people don't I got to give Down.
Down's the guy who did Lean Like a Cholo.
Down,
Oh, that's Down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Down is the guy who did but before Lean Like a Cholo,
Yes.
it was me that was taking him to the Snoop Doggs,
Yes.
to the Nate Dogs. I was taking him in Compton, you know
Daz
what I'm saying? To go fuck
Dillinger.
with MCA, MC Ren, Daz. I even got into a big ass fight over Down because at the time it was just Black and Brown was really, really heavy.
In the prisons, yeah.
Niggas was tripping on me because, nigga, you fucking with the essays. But Down was my guy. I mean, I love Down. La Colonia. Big
And
shout out
by
to
the
La
way, we
Colonia.
brought Nitty in for that reason. Like, we want you to handle Down, take care of all his shit.
That's
So-
right.
Yeah, so he handled
because
all Down stuff.
Down was see what people don't know. Down was the person who he went in history for the most features on an album.
You're right.
There ain't no
Really?
Chicano rappers that got more
And
features
by the way,
than Down.
at the same time, he was the first guy to do all the black artists on the Chicano shit.
Oh,
all
shit.
the black
I didn't
artists
know that.
on one album. It's called California Cowboys.
Dope-ass album, by the way.
That album was classic, and not just Cocaine. Ghost wrote for him. Silky Fine did.
Yes.
Badass did. Like, we took them around the whole circle,
R.I.P.
man. And we
Badass. That's
tried
my homie.
because we really, really cared about Down, and at the time, we really wanted to push this Black and Brown to
That's
another
right, you
level.
did.
That's why when he said when Lil Rob was turning down Ice Cube and turning down Snoop Dogg,
Yeah.
at the time, like, man, we trying to take this to another level. You gonna turn that shit down? Okay, cool. We gonna take Down. Wasn't really a good writer, so we was like, you know what? Fuck. We gonna just utilize what we had,
Right.
and we made him dope. He was dope. He sounded like a Mexican Eazy-E. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
Nitty put in
He had
work.
the money.
Nitty literally put in work. He did. Real talk. He's
A lot of people, you know what I'm saying?
he's
we
responsible
kicked it
for a
off.
lot of that.
That's
the
amazing.
connection.
That's amazing to me hearing that the Lil Rob turned
Yeah.
Cube down.
Both Snoop
Yeah.
and Cube.
I can't believe that right now. That's insane. I never knew that.
You know what? I respect it on a certain level, but then again, business-wise,
Yeah,
I didn't
business-wise,
respect
it
it.
was not a good move.
Business-wise, because Ice Cube, you gotta think like this, American Cholo. At that time, there was no big niggas at that time doing songs with Chicano rap.
No
Yes,
one. No
nobody.
one.
Now,
That
because
would've
of
been
Flossy, because of Flossy and the I Love Cali in the summertime, he was like the one that was bridging that gap, and it was like, you know what? Because of you, we down to fuck with him. Let's do it.
That's
and he
dope.
turned it down.
Yeah, that's
So that
crazy.
on the black side, that was like, oh, they think they too good.
Yeah, of course.
Like, oh, okay, so what? They don't want to do. And I'm talking about. This was a time when this shit was buzzing, bro. This was like some
Big.
real shit.
It would have
You
broke.
know what I'm saying?
It would have broke.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It
'cause
would have broke.
Shit was on top at the time.
This gives
Shit
me
was on top.
this gives me and everybody else a much better insight into what really happened, because
Right.
if Rob would have took the rings and said, you know what, I am gonna
Oh, it
be,
would have been over.
it would have
It would have been over.
Boom.
It would have
He
been
would've-
over.
Oh my god. I
But
didn't
also
know
keep
that.
in mind there was
It was-
beef. There was a war in the prisons in Chino.
And it just slipped out to the streets,
yeah.
So
unfortunately.
it was coming to the streets.
That's why I say I respect him because he did think about the culture first.
Of course.
So I do respect that. But business-wise, at the time, it wasn't about. See, the prison system was different. Out here in the streets is different. You could do music. All the big homies on the Mexican side was like, "Hey, do music," because we're trying to take our culture to another level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I just think that it was just a sensitive subject for him, and he wasn't a real gangster at the time. So I kind of understood him. So that was the reason why Down came in. Down was like the cleanup man.
The thing was like Nitty was a key player because he's a black. He fucked with the whole. He was from the Dogg Pound.
From both sides, yeah.
He's from the Dogg Pound camp. You know what I'm saying? LBC, auto shit. He's from their camp. So when he brings, like, it's one thing for me to say, hey, check out this Chicano, but when Nitty, the homie, brings him over, motherfucker, Snoop's got pictures of him on his counters in his house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little different.
I took Down to Snoop's house.
Yeah,
we took him to his house.
Yeah, so it's a little different.
This is when the east side, you know what I'm saying? So it was, you got to understand, Flossy was cool, but Flossy was a white boy. Fingers was a white boy.
I'm mixed with Mexican.
I'm mixed with Mexican. I'm mixed with Mexican, so it was certain shit that I could do.
But people always, everybody respected Nitty because he was like neutral. Everybody fucked with him. All the homies, the Dogg Pound, the LBC, everybody.
Right.
So he would bring everybody
we bridged that gap, man.
Yeah.
That's a great.
We bridged that gap, man. So
that's some great history.
You know what I mean? But Flossy, I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of people don't know, man. They got to get that man his flowers, homie, because him and Fingers did bridge that gap and take Chicano rap on a level that has never been took.
That's what's up.
Thank you,
I don't care what nobody say.
Thanks.
You feel what I'm saying?
Thanks,
and then
Dave.
even to go back,
You.
even to go back to the L-Boy situation, Flossy never ever did that man wrong. Never. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that
you
was
already
some
know the
Mack 10
business on it,
shit.
yeah.
Hey, so
that was some Mack 10 shit.
Let me ask you,
I'm just clear that name.
Ask you this, Nitty.
I was there because I'm the one who.
Well, there was another one.
Nigga. I'm the one who took.
They were saying that
Go ahead.
Flossy also, and Elle said that you named him, so I'll name him. Elle said something that went bad with Down also with Flossy. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, that's when they got into it, and just to keep it 100, it was Down had paid Fingers to come through. Fingers didn't come through. He felt disrespected. Him and Flossy got into it. He socked Flossy. You know what I'm saying? I jumped in the middle of it, and that was that. You know what I'm saying?
It was actually not. What's really funny about that incident, the only reason that happened, because Down and I are super cool, and we still are. The next day, we were super cool.
You know what it was is you was down for Floss. You was down for
Fingers. Fingers was my partner.
Because Down,
I'm gonna ride or die for my partner.
Up. He said, "What's up, man? I paid some money. How come he's not here?"
Yeah.
And then Flossy was like, "Don't talk about my homie like that." He was like, "Well, Down said you're gonna pick a side. You either gonna be on my side, homie, or you gonna be on Finger's side." He was like, "I'm on Finger's side," and then he just took off on him.
They had the whole gang, the California Cowboy.
It wasn't
I
a
broke
bad
it up.
business.
No, it wasn't even. And to be honest with you, it wasn't even some. It wasn't even crazy shit. It was just like. It was like, bam, like, all right, so that's the way it's going to go down? All right, cool.
Inner homie business shit real quick.
And we're all friends, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we're all, I'm not going to, like, literally the next day we had breakfast. We hung out. And so
he was tipsy. Down was tipsy. And you know what Down, that's my homie, too. Me and Down we got an excellent relationship.
That's right.
It wasn't really like, we're going to kill each other type shit. It was not that at all. It was more like.
It was a family beef.
And it was more like, fuck your homie, and I'm like, dude, no, don't say fuck my homie, because I'm right here right now. I can't have you saying fuck my homie. And they go, hey, Floss, okay, cool, I'll stop. I'll stop. And I go, well, don't say that shit again. We're cool. I'll stay. Because I said, I'll just bail. Like, basically, I was saying, like, I'll leave if you're going to say that shit.
Right.
And they go, all right, cool, Floss, I won't say that again. And then I go, hey, all right, cool. So we're talking about some shit. And he goes, but hey, really, fuck your homie. And I go, bro, I already told you what the fuck. And then he goes, it's like that. Bam, randomly, like, all right, fuck it, I'm out. I said, cool, have a nice day.
Oh man. Hey, Nitty,
I was there.
Let me know, homeboy. You got my number. I got to get you in here. We've been scheduling shit.
40 Glock was there too,
Let's
I
get
think,
it in,
right?
homeboy.
40 Glock was there, right?
It's all love, man. Y'all keep, he was there. Y'all keep holding down that history, homie.
No
You
secret.
got it,
I'm
brother.
going to tap in, cuz.
I appreciate you, brother.
I love you, Flossy. I got your back.
I
to
love
the
you,
fullest,
fam.
nigga.
Let's hang out soon, man. Let's hang out.
That's right, homeboy.
Appreciate it.
Man, you got love. That's what's up, homeboy. But that
All the real G's, you know what I'm saying?
that clears up a lot of good stuff, man. It really does. It clears up a lot of stuff, and like I said, there's it kind of puts water to the rumors and everything else that people are talking. And hopefully El gets his answer, and hopefully the other person who had the certain issue with you as well has the answer, because it is.
Well, to be honest with you, I think they know the answer.
Yes,
they're just probably looking for results, and they're hoping whatever they can do. And I understand it. Like, they're in a position with, hey, where's my money? The only point of contact is me, probably.
Right.
The other guy's probably avoiding them. And
Right.
they're probably looking at me like, hey, what the fuck? How do I? And by the way, I'm not mad at nobody, because at the end of the day, I want everybody to be content.
For sure.
Like, if I'm involved, however I can, play my role the best I can. But the reality is, my role was to write the paper. I did my
right.
role. If I can redirect traffic and put you in contact with the right people, I will do that. But the reality is, like, you didn't give me $1 million.
You're just the middle guy that wrote
I just wrote a piece of paper for $500.
I get it.
So what am I supposed to do?
Caller, what you got to say?
Viva México, carnal, y todos los chicanos de LA, fool.
What's up, homeboy? That's your homie.
Who's that?
Who's this?
Hey, God bless everybody. That's what I'm going to say.
All right, brother. Late. I couldn't catch most of it, man.
I don't understand. It sounded
Hey,
drunk.
so Flossy, let's man, you got a lot of stuff, Flossy. Your whole story takes maybe like fucking a couple days.
It would take a lot, probably, yeah. I've been in the game, bro. Like, I put in work. First of all, let's not forget that I put in work. And I will tell you right now, I'm one of the key players to put Chicano rap on the map.
Yeah,
No joke about it. No,
for
there's
sure.
no hype. It's not like I'm bragging. If it wasn't for me, shit wouldn't be on the radio. Fact. It's not even an option. It's a fact. Like, my shit, the reason why Chicano came and became, to be honest with you, the reason why it became a name and a genre is because I did what I did.
Hold on. We got the
Oh, here we go.
Mr. Little One. You got my direct number, homie. You don't gotta call the hotline.
Let's go,
What's up,
let's
fool?
go. Hey, Doc, I'm respecting the rules.
Appreciate it.
I'm respecting
Appreciate
the
it.
reglas. That's right. But you got my number. What's up,
I'm
fool?
respecting the rules, dog. Hey,
Talk to us, homie. Talk to
I
us.
didn't want to be like, hey, I got the direct number. I'm gonna respect the rules.
That's what's up, fool. What's going on, homeboy? Talk to us.
Hey, dog. Hey, I know I've been telling you about the telescope room, dog. I do it at Flossy's house.
That's what Flossy was telling me. Homeboy.
Yeah, so, dog, you tell me when.
Hey, hold
And
on.
let's make it happen.
First rule, you got to turn off the TV back there where you have it so loud, homeboy. That's the first rule of radio.
Hold on.
It's called the delay,
Okay,
right,
here we
Flossy?
go. Better?
Yes, sir.
Better now?
Yes.
Better now?
Mr. Little One from SD. Absolutely. What's up, fool? Talk to us.
So first, dog, I want to commend you. I mean, even since the last time that I've seen you, just the way that you're going hard on the culture, dog, is amazing, bro.
That's right.
You stick to what you believe in. And Flossy right here, bro, like this dude right here, bro, has known me when I was a walking nightmare, bro.
It's true.
And Flossy never in his life, dog, saw me any different. He seen me evolve. And, dog, he always treated me the same. He opened many doors for me from here to overseas, dog, with my music and many, many opportunities, dog. So,
That's right.
all I got to say about Floss is that man right there is as real as they come, bro.
That's
Just
right,
like you, dog.
That's
Just
right.
like you.
Thank you,
So
homie.
two things,
Shoot.
and then I'm going to get off the phone.
Shoot,
and I'm going to
shoot.
get back to my breeding. Then I'm going to get back to my books and my guru shit. But tell me when you're available for the telescope room.
Huh?
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The second thing is October 22nd, we have a festival in San Diego. It's going to be Tierra, Malo, the Midnighters, Telphonics, Conejo,
Yes.
Shadow, CNG, Frost, Reverie,
All right.
Dominator,
All right.
and we want to invite you and your fam to come on out.
Oh, man. Right now, I got nothing booked. We'll be there, homeboy. We'll be there.
Okay, dog.
Is it on a
You
Saturday?
guys come on out, bro. You guys are going
As long
to...
as it's not a Wednesday or something, homeboy. If it's a Saturday,
not.
we're there.
No, it's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. Make sure you guys come out, dog. You guys are going to be our guests.
For sure.
And we're going to have a good time. Daytime event, mariachi, taquero,
Oh, I'm down with
Lolos,
that. I'm down with that.
graffiti. It's going to be amazing, bro. So make sure you come on out. You're going to be our guest, dog.
My wife is
Respect
watching, so
to you guys.
babe, we're going. For sure. We'll be
All
there,
right,
Mr.
October 22nd.
Hey,
I
check
wrote
this
it
out.
down. Go ahead.
Oh, no. So who was there after that night with Mr. Lean Like a Cholo the next morning for breakfast? Who was there with me in Oxnard?
Me.
That's right.
Oh, he was there with you too.
Me.
For what to happen? People to apologize, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, dog. That's it. Hey, man, I was drunk. I'm sorry.
All right.
You know, dog. You gotta remember one thing, bro, and I will say this openly as well. People, when a person is an alcoholic, dog, you make a lot of mistakes while you're drinking.
Yeah,
Right.
And I will openly say this: my relationship with Down is no longer a relationship because of his alcoholism,
That's sad.
and I'm just keeping it clean.
Right. You're right.
And I'm just keeping it clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, there has to come a time where enough is enough, and when you make mistakes off your alcohol, and that message isn't clear, you're gonna self-destruct, dog. So,
But he was apologetic though, and he did it.
he did apologize. He said he was sorry. He said he was sorry, and he said he shouldn't have done that because, dog, at the end of the day, Flossy didn't deserve that. Huh?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit wasn't cool, and it was gonna go further, but we decided not to do that.
Right. There was no need for that.
No, not necessarily.
There was no.
We
but
don't
it
need to
could
start a
have.
war
Really,
with some
really,
bullshit. Yeah.
Right. For sure.
Yeah, dog. But hey, love you guys. Keep doing your shit. I'm right here watching on the couch.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Late. Man.
Respect, bro.
That's right. Man, you got love, Flossy. How much you pay these guys for these phone calls, boy?
Dude, if I need to pull the trigger, some motherfuckers will die. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so what's up with the podcast? Is that your podcast? Your son's podcast?
No, my son has a podcast called The Podcast with Prodigy, and he's interviewing, cats that are just, in his, hip hop artists, up and coming people are doing some shit. But I have a podcast that I shot 3 episodes called The Millionaire Mentality.
The Millionaire? I like the name.
Yeah, it's the pros and the cons. So the pros mean the professionals.
I'm a thousandaire. I can go on there though, right? I'm not a millionaire. I'm a thousandaire.
Probably not. Probably not, bro. But the crazy thing about this is the people that made millions of dollars, either legally or illegally.
Okay, I can feel
And the
that.
stories behind it. I've already interviewed mafia people.
Nice.
People that ran scams. And people that just ran businesses and made millions of dollars. But the scams are the most interesting.
I may have a guy for you.
Well, here's the thing. Like, my mentality is, because I grew up broke, if you made $1 million and you came from shit and you figured out how to way to make $1 million, you have the same mentality where you could have made that same $1 million
sir.
in another business.
Yes,
but
sir.
from where you're from, that's all that was all that was available to you. So that's my mentality. Like, we all have, not say we, people have a millionaire mentality. They're going to get it how they got to get it.
The hustler.
And if you're in a position where you're going to fucking college or whatever, you probably make $1 million. But if you're in a position where you're like, I'm on the streets, I got to figure this out, I'm more impressed with the dude from the streets, to be honest with you.
Boy. Yeah, for sure. And that's what I see a lot too on the streets. You got a lot of hustlers in jail. You got a lot of hustlers in the streets. Caller, what's up? What say you?
It's New York from Santana.
Big Art from Santana. What's going on, player?
What's up?
Flossy.
What up?
Listen, Flossy, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Look, I've been watching the whole podcast, and
Okay.
your business savvy is very impressive.
Thank you.
Now, I'm a dental tech. and I want to open up my own dental lab.
Okay.
Do you have any type of books or?
You want to
or
open a dental
something
lab?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm happy to help you on the business tip. I know a lot about the business structure and how you want to set everything up. Feel free to DM me at Flossy the Boss. I'll break it all down to you. I'm not going to charge you. Just hit me up. I'll teach you how to do everything you need to do to structure your business so you're protected.
Excellent.
There you go, Art.
What is it again?
Flossy the Boss. THE Boss.
Flossy the Boss.
Yes, sir.
And this is on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah, Instagram. And I will
right.
respond to your DM 100%.
Remember my name. Art.
All right, I got you, brother, for sure.
Art the Dental Tech. Thank you so much.
You got it,
I'll
brother.
hit you
Looking
up.
forward to hearing from you.
All right, let me call. All right, Art. Then let me call. This 1213 number's been trying to call for a
Lord,
minute.
here we go.
So
Sounds like a problem.
nah. We'll call this one and we'll start wrapping it up because I know
Okay.
you got things to do. Bossy, hold on. One more. Let's see what you got. Here we go. 213. We're gonna call you and see what you got, homeboy.
I didn't even tell Nitty I was going to be honest. I feel bad.
You got to, player.
I should have called him.
Ooh.
Nitty, I should have told Nitty I was going to be on there.
Look at that. He got a voicemail box. Oh, no. Nitty's good. I've been talking to Nitty for a minute. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
No,
All right.
we've been talking for a minute, like to try to get him on, scheduling stuff.
He should
but-
get on, yeah.
For sure, but it's all about timing. Hello, hello. What's good, homeboy? Talk to us. I'm calling you back, carnal.
It's big homie right there, man. Appreciate you answering the call.
For sure. What's going on, homeboy? Talk to us.
Yeah, I wanted to know what are you guys' top 3 Chicano rap artists that made the most money? Like the top 3.
That would be this gentleman's.
I would say probably in the Chicano rap, and let's keep it to Southwest West region.
Yes.
Like I would say Lil Rob, MC Magic, and Mr. Capone.
Not Kid Frost?
Oh.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. Those are my top 3. And I know all of them
ain't mad at
personally, and I know Kid Frost personally, so those are my top 3.
All right, I ain't mad at that. Appreciate it,
Thank
big
you.
homie.
Thank you,
Yes,
brother.
sir, you got it.
All right, brother. We got Tennessee calling. What's going on, Tennessee? That's yeah, maybe Warren G. Homeboy.
Oh, shit. All right.
What's going
I
on,
know
Warren?
Hey, what's up? What's up? I'm just tuning in and have a quick question for Flossy.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to see what's his take on the whole, like the WAC 100 managing Coyote, the 2 Mexicans on his label. I recently listened to a different show, and they're saying they were complaining that they're stagnant, that WAC isn't really pushing them out because they don't know how to move them, like put their content out because of their, I guess because they're Mexican, they don't know how to manage them.
Well, ultimately, so if you're unhappy with anybody, and I'll evade the whole WAC 100 comment, but let's just assume that you're with somebody who's not doing the job for you. Each artist needs to do the job for themselves. Don't wait for somebody to break you. If you're waiting for somebody to break you, you're going to fail. At the end of the day, if you get $1 million from a record label today, you don't go use that $1 million and go break yourself, you're going to be broke tomorrow. Do whatever you got to do. Pretend like those people are not involved in your career because you can't wait on anybody to fucking bring you a check. Go get your own money.
Right.
Don't fucking wait on a man to pay you. You're a man. Go get your own money.
Right.
Period. Point blank.
Well, in that situation, they're both upset, so they're deciding to leave because of that situation. They don't want to just wait around because they feel like they're.
Then you need to have what he needs to do. If they've signed a contract with WAC, they need to sit down and have a real conversation with WAC and say, WAC, check this out. I'm not happy with everything. And maybe WAC's not happy with everything either. Maybe WAC's looking like this shit ain't working. Maybe he's struggling trying to figure out how to promote the artist. I'm not going to talk about WAC because I don't know the situation.
Right. No, I get it. It was just a question, see what your take on the whole
just
managing situation.
Don't wait for nobody because if you wait for somebody, you're going to end up in a bad spot. It's all you at the end of the day. Even if a label signs you, even if somebody promises you the moon, it's all on you to figure it out. And unfortunately, don't get hustled.
The way I see it is like mainstream just doesn't know how to bring out like Latino rappers, like to know the product. For example, Atlantic didn't know what to do with their, and then you got Cap G also.
Yeah, Cap G is a great artist. But here's the thing, at the end of the day, today, you don't need to wait on a label. You don't need to wait on anybody. Right. You can just go put the shit out yourself. See if the fans like what you're putting out. They're fucking with you.
If your dope sells, it's gonna sell,
exactly.
Right?
Just put it out. Like you're waiting for somebody to tell you you're cool. That's the wrong attitude. Like you need to go out there and you need to know that I'm cool. Therefore, people are going to buy my content and then I'm going to put it out consistently. But the key to the game right now is putting out consistent product on a regular basis. I'm talking like every week, every other week, put out content, and eventually somebody's going to buy onto one of those songs. If you put out 10 songs every single week for 10 weeks, somebody's going to, I fuck with that song. All those 9 other songs, they're fucking with too. That's how you got to do it.
Yeah.
Hey,
definitely. Like right now, it's just like I'm listening to like Little Weirdo.
Weirdo's dope. That's my boy. Yeah.
Misfit. Yeah.
Misfit's my dude too.
Soto.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all these rappers right here, they're out there just grinding. Like you said, they're doing their thing. And
well, we're gonna get Weirdo on the point. And like my goal is, I'm gonna get Maru cracking, then I'm gonna get Weirdo cracking, and then I'm gonna get Misfit too, and then a couple other artists that are just right next to them, Phoenix Flex and other guys. I'm gonna get all those people popping, and you're not gonna look at them like, oh, that's a dope Chicano rap artist. You're gonna look at it as that's a dope artist, and he's gonna be top 10. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's that. Yeah. because
Yes, sir.
we don't need that label, man. I think we just need to be up there, you know, like that's a dope rapper, and
Yes.
everyone listens to him.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you hear a song, you're not going, I wonder if that dude's Mexican, black, or Chinese. At the end of the day, you hear the song, you
Yeah.
go, that song's fucking hot. You're buying into whoever did that record. And that's what we're trying to do.
For sure. Hey, caller, thanks for the phone call,
Also, a
homeboy.
quick
Oh, yeah.
thing, just one thing,
It's
real quick.
199 a phone call, homeboy. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Come
Last
on.
one.
I just wanted to tell Flossy one thing
Yes,
real
sir.
quick.
Yeah,
Yes,
shoot.
sir.
Like, that was pretty cool, you know, how you dove into the whole L-Boy thing with the Snoop thing, how you didn't dodge it or anything.
Nah,
you went
it's all
straight
real
for
shit.
it. And, cool, you know, so respect to that, you know. I think that was pretty cool about you.
Yeah, and keep it all the way 100. I'm sure L-Boy knows this, by the way. But, I mean, there's always, like, people want to put a negative slant on everything. Like, oh, the reason why I'm not here is because of this. Everybody's got
I think
excuses.
you cleared it up, and you made a lot of sense, you know. There's
Yeah,
always
thank
two
you very
sides to
much,
every
man.
story, and what you said, I appreciate it, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Because, you know, it's not like I'm scamming people. I don't need to scam people. I make
Nah.
money. Who cares, you know?
Right. And like you said, you know, a contract's a contract, and you have to read over it and take it to a lawyer, and just most people don't know how to do those things. And
Yeah,
you
no
can't really
disrespect
blame
to
another
L-Boy.
guy
I
for
actually
it.
like L-Boy. He's the homie. Like, I actually like him. So, man, maybe he didn't know about any of this, to be honest with you, because these are conversations that I've had with the person that paid for that. So,
Right.
at the end of the day, he may not know. I love L-Boy. He's a
cool.
good dude.
All right.
All right,
Nah,
bro.
well, I won't take up any more time. Thank you.
For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
All right,
All right.
so you're a busy guy. Hey, thank you guys for the phone calls, but we out this thing. I want to thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
I want to thank you for dropping some major history on us and just hip hop itself. I mean, if young guys, they're not even young, if people in the industry are not getting the game that you just fucking dropped on them tonight,
Right.
this was some major ass game that you dropped on them. Hopefully they learn from it and can level up, homeboy.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about like every artist should understand like their worth. You know, you should put out content on a regular basis, consistently. You should also understand the business. You should understand the business of the game, meaning like, okay, so if a label signs me, here's what I can expect. If I distribute my content, here's what I can expect. So ultimately, the goal is to put out product as often as you can and generate a revenue stream. Along with that comes merchandise, appearances, all the things. And remember this, the music, look at it as like a business card. Like we're handing out business cards. So these people call us for business, and the business would be a performance, merchandise, an appearance, whatever it is, a role in a movie. But the reason why we put out music, don't look at it as that like, okay, this is the way I'm going to make my money. If I say 1 million streams, I'm going to get, $4,000 or $300 or $400. Don't look at it like that, because the reality is that's such small money. You look at it as like, I'm putting out this music to be famous, to where people call me, and that's a business card. We're handing out business cards. We're giving away our music for free, so people call us to do what we're going to get paid for. The average artist that's somewhat buzzing, just somewhat, a little bit buzzing, you know what they're getting for a show? $50,000 a night. You do that 4 times a week, you're talking about $200,000 a week. You're talking almost $1 million a month. That's all you need. Don't worry about giving away your music. Put it out. You're trying to drive traffic to you and your page.
There you go, homeboy. Now, Flossy, let everybody know where they can find you, homeboy, whether your podcast is at, where your Instagram is at.
Yeah, just go hit me up on Flossy The Boss, spelt phonetically because I'm white. Flossy, F-L-O-S-S-Y-T-H-E, boss.
The original boss, homeboy.
Yeah, I'm the biggest boss you ever saw. You want games, just hit me up. I got you. Check out my, go subscribe to my channel, What's Good Entertainment. You got my son doing interviewing some of the dopest artists, the dopest talent in the game. And basically it's called, the podcast with Prodigy. He's my prodigy.
That's right.
But he's his own prodigy as well. So ultimately, go check him out. And on the same channel, you'll see things like Mr. Little One's channel. He's got the Telescope Room, interviewing artists about their
He's gonna interview American Cholo soon.
American Cholo, get that cracking. And I also have a podcast coming up with Fat Boy SSE.
Okay.
And he's very funny. Him and his wife got some, we've already filmed a couple episodes, but we're about ready to do more. But definitely, if you need help or advice, I'm not taxing motherfuckers for that. What I'm trying to do is like give you tips or pointers to like, don't get hustled, don't get scammed, and think about everything at the end of the day makes sense. If I tell you in the simplest form, like people send me go, hey, Sony just sent me with this email saying this and this and that. He wants to sign me. All that shit is bullshit. The labels are not sending you emails and sending you DMs. The labels will call you. Don't get suckered into that. Give me $500. We'll get you on the phone with Sony. No. Get on the phone with them, fly to LA, take a meeting with them, fly to New York, take a meeting with them. But I'm happy to help you so you don't get caught up. I'm happy to talk to you about making more money in the game. Hit me up anytime.
There you go, people. So we'll see you guys on Thursday. Make sure to subscribe, like, go check out the homie
Yes, sir.
Flossy the Boss, man. And we out this bad boy.
Let's go.
Good stuff, man. That's money, big Floss.
Let's go, baby.
That was money. Let me use the head real quick. We'll take a picture.
Me too.